not a salesman, I don't want to be annoying, I'm just not pushy. Everyone always associates the word sales in such a negative tense or in the context that I just stated above. Well, I'm here to tell you I'm not a salesman, I'm not annoying, and I'm not pushy. What I am is educated, passionate, and I believe in our products. I share our products, I educate my customers, and I prescribe makeup. And in doing so, what happens is sales. Many of us are afraid to be confident and assertive in our approach to selling in this business, fearful of being judged, being shamed, or pinned as an annoying salesperson. I'm sure it's ran through all of your heads when you decided to join this company. I'm here to help show you that it's okay to get a little uncomfortable, it's okay to step outside of your box, and there is an art to non-selling. I'm going to offer you guys up techniques, some verbiage, thought patterns, and hopefully some motivation to help push yourself and your teams to the next level. So I'm going to break it down into different segments here. So the first thing I want you guys to start thinking about is setting your month up for success. I call this hustle and organize. The first thing you want to do at the beginning of each month is verbalize and write down your goals, whether it's on a dry erase board, in your notebook, on your team pages, but you need to have a goal and something that's attainable for you. So don't be sitting here saying, well, I'm going to be a green status presenter, and you are still sitting at white. You guys have to work in levels and make it attainable for yourself. So to put it on myself, I ask myself what I'm striving for. So I'm an orange elite presenter. I'm striving for purple next month. So I ask myself what color I'm striving for and what is my PRS requirement. I want to accomplish this within the first week of my month. So I want to hit my PRS requirement that Kai and Katrina were talking about in that first level. So for purple, it's $500 of personal retail sales that I need. So there's 31 days in May, so I need to sell a minimum of $16 to $17 a day, or approximately $125 a week. So I break it down to a daily or weekly number for myself. So if you put it like that, like I need to sell less than one mascara a day to hit my PRS requirement. So ways to get this. How do I get this in my first week? I set myself up for a monthly bulk order for cash and carry the last week of the prior month. And I'm going to repeat that because it's kind of confusing. So the last week of April, I start prepping myself for a bulk order for my first 7 days of May. So cash and carry, I'm going to get into the details a little bit later for some of you guys if you don't know what that is. So what I do is I email, I text, I Facebook, messages to anyone who has purchased from me. I'll ask if they need refills, if they want to try new products. I'll share any new promos or kudos we are offering. So those are ways that I'm going out and I'm looking to get my sales for that first week of the next month. I will also refresh my mascara cash and carry along with any products needed for my personal needs. So that all kind of helps and rolls into itself. So by the 7th of the month, I have placed my first order, which sometimes, if not always, will meet my monthly PRS requirement. So for some of you, it's going to be $250. For some of you, it's going to be $500. But it's a way to just get yourself launched into the month and start heavy in the beginning of your month so you're not scrambling at the end of your month to get your PRS requirements. My next focus is I shift to party hosting. So within that first week, I also want to find a minimum of 3 to 5 party hosts for my month. Same thing, I personally email, message, or call my friends, customers, and offer them the opportunity to host. What I don't rely on is putting something on my Facebook wall. Too many of us hide behind the computer of Facebook or Instagram, Pinterest, whatever you guys are using as your social media outlet. You guys need to put yourself out there and start talking to people more instead of relying just behind the computer. So I am asking people personally, I'm not relying on my Facebook wall. Those posts that you guys post asking for party hosts will probably only yield probably a 10% success rate. That's what I found. You really need to personally reach out. So I'm going to just read to you a sample message I sent to a girl I went to high school with. We're not personally super close friends, but she had bought some mascara from me. She referred somebody for mascara, so I thought, hey, why not offer her a party? I put, hey Heather, so I know you love the mascara, and I'm looking for 3 more people for the month to host an online lash bash. It's a virtual online party that I put together on a private Facebook page that you invite all your friends to. It's an easy way to share your love for the product, earn yourself some free makeup, and for me to get a little more exposure outside my friends' community. I want to stop right there before I finish. So in doing that, I'm saying, hey, I need help building my business. Are you willing to help me? Like, that's a way of putting yourself out there and just asking for the support. You can only rely so much on your own network of people. You're going to have to start dipping into other people's networks of friends. I then finished it with, it lasts 10 days. I post pics, I'll send you pics to post, and really just share the Younique products. Nikki, our mutual friend, posted one for me last month, and she earned $180 in free products. No pressure, you just came to mind when I was putting my list of potential hosts together. Either way, let me know. So I'm asking her for the support, and I'm asking her for a response, and I'm okay if she says no. The key is to just keep it clean and simple and to the point. There's no sales pitch and no pressure added. Simply asking a friend to support your desire to expand your business. And if they say no, then move on. It's not a big deal. You'll move on to the next. I am finding that with my team, too many of you guys just get hung up on the no's, and you get inside your head and you tell yourself that your business is over and there's no more people to sell to. I've heard it all, and I've coached a lot of people through that. And I'll tell you, if you continue to let others dictate your business, you'll have a much harder time pushing through, and you just need to expect the no, because for every 10 no's, you're going to get a yes here and there, and I promise you that. The next thing I want to move on to is day-to-day chatter and talking the talk. Be a business owner. Think about that. You guys are a business owner. That kind of came to me like maybe 6 months ago when I was sitting there. I was like, wow, I own my own business. I need to respect this business, and I need to work this business because I'm the only one that's solely responsible for it. So I make it a point to talk about my business every single day. I am not lying when I tell you I wake up and think about what I can do to promote and grow my business every single day. Whether it's posting on Facebook, talking to my clients, educating myself on new products, and coming up with promotions. You have to live and breathe it. It's said over and over, but it's so true. What you put in is what you get out. I'll tell you, if you guys slack for a week, you're going to feel it, and you're going to mentally feel it as well as physically see it in your numbers. A great example of just talking the talk and how to bring Younique into a conversation is as simple as, oh my God, so-and-so, check out this new lip color I'm wearing today. Boom, you've then led them into the new lip stain. You can show them the bells and whistles with the application and the same color. Or let's say my husband and I go out to dinner with some friends and somebody asks me how work is. I don't start talking about my job as a hairstylist. I start talking about Younique and how I'm going to be going on this amazing cruise in October, all expense paid by my company. There's my lead-in to talk about Younique as opposed to my 9-to-5 job. It does not have to be rocket science. Keep it casual, and you'll just be planting seeds daily. And now when people see me, they'll ask me, hey, how's the makeup business going for you? Instead of saying, hey, how's the hair business? The next part I'm going to get into, and I like to call this prescriptive selling. I use this technique a lot in my day-to-day job as a hairstylist, and I wholeheartedly believe in it. As a presenter for Younique, you guys are the expert. You are in the driver's seat, and you should know the products like you know your own wardrobe. Customers are looking to you for guidance and expertise for their skincare and makeup needs. First, do not spend your customers' money for them based on what you can afford. I had to learn this as a hairstylist, especially first starting out when I was totally broke. I cannot dictate what they've come in to spend. You guys cannot dictate what your clients or friends are willing to spend. So many times, I see this response on Facebook. I know it's expensive, but you just gotta try it. If you guys lead them into thinking it's expensive, they're gonna think it's expensive. It's not expensive. I cringe when I see it. It's not your job to dictate what they can and cannot afford. It's your job to offer them an array of products and let them choose what they can afford. I love to use the example of going out to a really nice dinner. The waitstaff has no idea of your intention to spend $50 or $500. They're gonna offer you a cocktail when you sit down. They're gonna ask you if you want an appetizer. They're going to ask you what entree you'll be having. They're going to ask you what sides you'll be having, especially if they're a la carte. They're going to ask you if you want dessert. They're going to also ask you if you want a cup of coffee to complete your meal. They do not assume by how you look or because they can't afford to be eating there that what you're willing to spend. We have so many amazing products. We have to give our customers the opportunity to be educated and experience them all. Don't limit your sales by just focusing on the mascara. Mascara is your lead-in to introduce them to the company. It's your job to direct them to other options. If someone is ordering a BB cream, touch cream foundation, you better believe I am going to sell them a primer to go along with it. So here's some verbiage I would use if someone was talking to me about ordering a foundation product. So say they want to order some BB cream from me. I would say that is a great choice. I love our BB cream. But I really suggest if you're going to use any of our foundation products that you start with a primer. Not only are your results going to be better, but your makeup application will last that much longer. And every time I've done that, I promise you I have sold a primer with it. It's as simple as that. Educate and share what our products can do for your customers. This will in turn lead into helping you expand what your clients are buying, not just mascara. I relied on mascara for a really long time until I started branching out and having my customers experience other things. And I'll tell you, last month I probably sold maybe 3 or 4 mascaras of $1,900 in PRS. The rest was from all of our other products. Speaking of products, are you using the products? I mean, really using the products. And I want just a raise of hands. How many of you guys are exclusively wearing just Younique tonight? That's a good number. Very good. So, you can't represent a cosmetic company and sell something you don't use. Make the investment in your business and use what you're trying to sell. It will be that much harder for you to share and sell if you can't give an honest testimonial to it. I'm a hairstylist and I sell $42 shampoo. You better believe I am not using Pantene Pro V in my shower. How can my clients trust me that they should invest $42 in a product to wash their hair if their stylist is using a $5? The same goes for Younique. You can't sell a BB cream if you're putting Revlon liquid foundation on. Finally, I'm going to get into a little bit of cash and carry. People have wanted me to detail how I work my cash and carry business because I rely heavily on cash and carry for the majority of my personal sales. First, I never allow myself to have less than 4 mascaras on hand at any time. I order in quantities of 10 to 15 at a time. So if I'm ordering in a quantity of 10, once I sell 6, I'll reorder 10. So I don't ever go past that 4. They'll sell. For those of you that are new, cash and carry is simply me buying in bulk 10 mascaras for my own party, then reselling them to local customers who want to purchase direct from me without the shipping costs. So anybody locally that you're willing to meet up and do a cash, check, PayPal, whatever you guys are comfortable with, exchange for the money, but you're putting the money up front to purchase the product. As you talk about your business, many people are going to want the instant gratification of buying a mascara from you. As you guys all start and continue to just talk more about it with people, you're going to be showing them your lashes, you're going to be talking about it, and they'll be like, oh, can I have one? And then you're like, oh no, go to my website. And if you don't have a card on you, then you're writing down this really long website. And it's so much easier to have one. Yeah, I got one in my purse. They're, in Michigan, $31 I sell them for, retail plus tax. And you're going to sell it right there. Always have a minimum of 2 with you at all times. And like I said, whatever you guys are comfortable with in terms of payment. I do cash or check. I don't do PayPal. I'm probably one of the only people out here who don't do it. Just because I know, I've heard it all. Cash and carry doesn't also have to be limited to mascara. So once you guys have developed a customer base, as I mentioned before, I place a monthly bulk order. So anything somebody that is local that wants to purchase, so like I do a lot of serums, lip glosses, lip liners, I include those purchases in my bulk orders and deliver direct to my customer. Again, only charging them cost plus tax. It's a great way to guarantee yourself a pre-purchase sale. Yes, you're putting the money up front first, but you have somebody waiting for the product. You're going to get the money. Do not ask for the money up front. I find that just slightly unprofessional, and it gives them the impression that you're not going to trust them to pay you. And just for a little perk, put it on a credit card. I don't know how many of you guys work off credit cards that have perks. I use a Delta Sky Miles, so I buy all my Younique on it so I can earn some miles with it. Okay, I'm going to pass the mic, because we broke the sales section up into two, to Rochelle. So thank you guys very much. The very first thing that I recommend anybody does when they start their business is to make a list of 100 contacts. Look through your phone book, your coworkers, if you're in school, your classmates, Facebook friends, mom groups you're a part of. Make a list of 100 people. And do a minimum of 10 a day reaching out. Do a minimum of 10 people a day reaching out to them. It is so important that you have personal messages to people. An example of a personal message that I do, this is an example, it says, "Hey girlfriend, I don't know if you've seen my Facebook posts or my Instagram about my new favorite mascara, but I just had to reach out to you. It's my new favorite thing, and I know you'll love it too. I've always been a concealer and mascara girl, and this mascara just gives that subtle glam look for every day, and you can even make a more dramatic results for those special occasions. No pressure, just thought I had to reach out to you. Let me know." Very simple, very casual, very personal. You don't want it too salesy either. And of course I add the no pressure, because at first I was really worried about people feeling like I was kind of attacking my circle of friends, but you truly are excited. You tried this mascara and you're impressed, so just show that excitement, because that's what sells it. That makes it not salesy when you just are that genuinely excited about the product. Personally, I started off with plenty of before and afters of myself. Pictures of yourself are what sell. It's not those glamorous ones that look really cool to us, or like, oh my gosh, that girl has incredible lashes. I'm gonna post this at all my parties because you can see this crazy dramatic result. What people want to see are real girls with real lashes. I even post the ones that, maybe some people don't think are the best, but, with people with really short lashes, that's an improvement for them. So as long as it's your style, make sure that you're posting real girls, not just the ones that we see that have the really cool graphics or whatever, graphics. Okay, post plenty of before and afters. I started using PhotoGrid app, and I put what the actual mascara brand is. So that finds it very relatable. I had so many women saying, oh my gosh, I just love this before and after because that's the exact mascara I use. So I can see, I actually just sold one on our mascara marathon yesterday because the girl wore Matchbox, and I pulled up my phone, I excused all the million eye pictures I had on, and I searched for that, and that's what sold her. I mean, she loved my personal before and after, but she didn't personally use Clinique, so she couldn't identify with that. But having the exact mascara that she used on my phone was what sold her. So yeah, when you approach and ask women, oftentimes my customers, I just kind of approach it like, I'm just looking to enhance my portfolio, and you're just so beautiful, I'd love a picture of your lashes. And so I ask them for what their mascara is, and that's how I create it. When ladies purchase, I personally give them a shout out. So the shout out works multiple ways. People like to be acknowledged, people like to be thanked, people like to feel special. So, and it also creates a hype. So you're pleasing your customer and you're creating that hype. So when they see X amount of people ordering from you, you're creating hype against the product and against your business. So you're just building this stuff. And it's wonderful. Remember to always post daily, however, do not rely, again, like what Krista was saying, on posting. Conversation is what happens. When you need to start wearing it and sharing it. When you have the products on hand, that's how you give recommendations. You can sell, you'll maybe make a couple sales off of products you don't use, but that's just more of a rarity and the person's comfortable with trying something new. But people want to know personal recommendations, and you'll definitely feel way more comfortable when people are asking you your opinion when you've tried it, because you shouldn't be lying about things. So familiar yourself with the different products. My best suggestion, I didn't get all the products in one day, I just slowly did it. So once you do your cash and carries, if you're buying product on hand, your parties that you host, that's how you get the Younique cash, the half offs. My personal recommendation is your very first half off you get, buy a collection set. Buy the biggest collection set there is, get the most money, you get a whole 50% off. Try all the products that you can try. That's how you'll start developing your business, because when you really indulge and you create yourself to be all unique, that's how you can expect your customers to do it too. My goal is my customers to turn all unique. That's what I want. You're not going to sustain the business through just a mascara, because I'm sure some of you have noticed, as much as we say, every 3 months someone's going to replace their mascara, that's not how often all of them do it. So it's really important that you're trying other products so you can sell the other products. And again, once people love the mascara, they want to try the other products, and they start loving the other products too, because that's why we all love it too, because they're that good. I also invest in my business. I use the half offs again. I have the complete lip liner set, eyeliner set, the lip glosses, and all the lip stains. So right now, with lip stains being so hot, I'm a nurse, I work at the hospital, and I carry all 7 of my lip stains in my bag, and everybody knows I have them on me, and they're all so excited to get their little marks on their hand to see what color that they want. You should see Ship Change, my manager. He just laughs. Luckily, he supports it too. But it creates that hype. People are excited. You show them the product, they see how it works, and they're just all amazed that they can just sit there and rub on it, and it's doing great. So again, having those samples on hand is perfect. I also invested again, it sounds like there's a lot of money spent, but it was very slowly done and just done at a certain pace. But I create eyeshadow samples, so I went and I got, someone posted in Marble Lashes at one point, it was like $1,000, 1,000 bags. It was for like $2 on Amazon. And they're really small bags, and I just broke up some of the pigments in each of the bags and I put a label on them. So now with my cash and carries for mascara, I slip a couple colors in. Now if I already know the girl's eye color or what their skin tone's like, I can already put the colors I think that would pair for them. And that's huge too, because they get to sample another little thing. We all love samples, and so they get to see, oh wow, it's not just a mascara, I really like this eyeshadow color too. Another thing is, everyone knows videos are becoming so popular. It's a huge thing to do. It took me till 2 weeks ago to do my first video, and honestly when I did it, I was nervous to post it. I didn't really think it was good enough. I'm like, I'm not a makeup expert. Austin does these amazing ones, and I'm just like, this is not gonna get any likes. And 24 hours, I have 600 views. And that was for a video that I wasn't gonna post. So just imagine when you actually think it's great. So just do it, get out of your comfort zone, because when I did that video, it was honestly just showing the products, and it was not about BB cream, but I cannot tell you how many people were like, I need that BB cream. Because they could see, real girl, I have rosy skin pigment, I the BB cream does something for me. And that's exactly what that video did for them. Of course, they were mascara buyers already, so they weren't surprised at how great they were, but it's just so important that it just shows, it's another angle, because sometimes people can think you can do filters on pictures too. So again, reiterating what Krista was saying about, I always have at least 4 to 5 mascaras on hand, and that creates such customer satisfaction, it's ridiculous. People are so excited when they come up to me, because it is the worst bind to have when someone wants a mascara and you don't have it on hand, and you're fumbling around, posting in the group, somebody have something local I need to meet up, because you want a satisfied customer. Just think of a store. If you went to your favorite store that had their #1 product, you'd be so ashamed and so upset if you had to wait for them to order it online. You want that product when you came to the store to get it. Another task is posting on your personal page. So I know a lot of people made groups, and that's great, but personal pages is where everyone sees it, okay? I can't tell you how many men have made comments to me in a positive way, the men I work with and my husband's friends. They call me Fabulash, hey Fabulash, and it's a compliment. They know I branded myself. And then they're nudging at their girls saying, talk to her about it, you should do it. It's a great opportunity, and they see it too. Men can encourage their women, and that can give them more self-confidence to want to do it too. So it's definitely important not to just post in your group pages. Okay. Also, make sure, this is my personal opinion towards Facebook. If you're using Facebook for business advertising, you definitely want to make sure you keep yourself positive and real. If you're using social media as a business outlet, then keep it a little bit more on the businessy side. Because remember, you're attracting people. So if you're constantly upset about things on Facebook, it's going to reflect. Nobody really wants to work with another negative Nancy. We all have that in our own other jobs. We don't need another person to be like that. Another thing is when I always friend every single person that buys from me. Whether they accept my friend request or not is a different story. Some people are a little private, so that's fine. But remember, when you create that customer rapport, that creates repeat buyers, referrals, and possible hostess and more presenters. For an example, I have several presenters from that. Every time I've gotten an outside referral, I look up their, their account and stuff, and you create that rapport, and it doesn't happen instantly. I mean, it can happen later down the road, but I had someone I built a relationship with like 7 months ago, and then 3 months ago, one of her cousins signed because she had bought a mascara off of, as a gift or something, and so then she ended up coming up to me, and I was like, I'll gladly take you on, I'd love to train you. So you just never know who you're investing in. Okay. Another way I keep track, I have a piece of paper, I have like an outline form, I keep track of every single person I sell to, and I make sure I try to check in with them 2 weeks after they purchase, just to make sure that they like the product. It is so important to make sure that these people like the product. Oftentimes, if there's issues, it's user issues. They're not understanding how to use it. And I mean, we all probably have dealt with it. We usually create to steal the transplant gel. We get the little fibers on their eye, and then that irritates them. You could completely change that customer's mentality if you help them. So, I mean, that can create a repeat customer, because if they're just doing it wrong, it's not the product, it's just that. So they'll come back to you, and obviously, who doesn't like someone who can give them tips and suggestions? And then I also check in, again, 2 to 3 months later as a follow-up, and I just, at that point, I just let them know, it's kind of been 2 to 3 months, if you notice your mascara is running low, I can offer you, we can do an online party, and I can get you your next mascara for free, hopefully. And that's an awesome way to get people, reconnected and talking to them again. And then once they are going to do an online party with you, it's so important that they personally have tried the product. I know some people, that's the way that they wanted to create their, they decided they want to try the product, so they'll have a party to get a free mascara. Those parties are not successful. I don't know if anybody's had too much of a successful party without before and afters, but I mean, personally, I don't really want to buy a product for my friend that hasn't tried it yet and just waiting to get a free one. For her to be excited about it makes me excited for it. So that's super important. So if you can get together with a person and do a little makeover on her, and then she can post tons of pictures, and then that could obviously lead to more sales too. Okay, make sure that you're pumping up your hosts and you're talking to them too, creating a rapport with them. It's really important when you're posting in online parties that you're sending your hosts some things to say if they're not posting on their own. Their network sees their posts so much more. If you have noticed, like you can see the views, if your party has less than 250 people, you can see who's actually viewing the party. And you'll notice the host posts get viewed way more. So with that, you need to make sure that you're giving if they're not posting on their own, which a lot of them don't do, you give them something to post, like something you would have posted for that day, just have them post it. That just gets more attention. I've also started with this whole video thing. I started doing a welcoming video to the party and a closing video. The closing video is a special shout out. So for the exact girls that bought, you're saying their name, you're thanking them personally. And then the welcome video can be more of a generic, like, welcome to the party, I'm so excited to get started. You can always just keep it on your phone, and it's great. I noticed after doing so many parties that, like, your mouth runs dry a little bit, kind of thinking of what to say next. And you're like, man, that last party I had all the great things to say. I created a note section. I do probably like 80 to 90% of my business on my phone. So I have an iPhone, and I use a note section, and I just copy and paste right from there. So I can easily put what I want to say for each of the parties. Which is great, so I'm not like fumbling for words, and especially if we have busy lives, you're at work, whatever, you just have a couple minutes to interact with the party, you can post it like that. Okay, it is so important to, even qualifying parties, even if you don't have even if the party's not qualifying, it's not a dud. My very first party had 0 sales. It took until my 4th party to have a qualifying party. That happens, it's okay, you still sold to people. The first one I didn't, but at least I got exposure. One party, I had 3 people purchase, 2 are now presenters. You just don't know. You create that rapport, and you just build it. I mean, people that are buying it, you work with who you have.
And then recently, I took we had a call like a month or two ago, and one of the girls had told us, she challenges herself to kind of just like talk to the barista at Starbucks. She challenges herself to talk to random strangers to try to like get herself out of her comfort zone. So I've been doing these demo days, where you could technically either have a demo, like really assigned, an actual one that's planned, or everyone that you're doing the demo on is your demo. So I walk around and I have my Clinique on one side and then Younique on the other side. And I wear my magic mascara, the I Smell Magic mascara, and you wouldn't believe the conversations it starts. So a sample of that would be, it's easiest when you have like a checkout clerk, and because they always naturally just ask you how your day is. And at that point, you can just be like, I am so excited, my mascara is so amazing, my day is going so great. And then they're like, okay, and you're like, what did you just say? And you're like, my mascara business, it's so great. And they're like, oh, tell me about it. And then you just start showing them your eye. And then they're like, oh, wow, yeah, that's great. And then you lead into it. Of course, it's a little different too when it's like a random stranger, but I mean, who cares? I mean, it's fun. Once you start doing it, it's fun. And then I was actually meeting my mom to help set this event up, and I had a meeting before that, so I went to the meeting knowing that like I was coming to this and doing all this, and I was with like 100 other nurses and a couple of the the chief nurses, and we're picking up food, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I know I look so ridiculous for this meeting, and I was like, I have a demo later, and I'm wearing my magic mascara shirt, and they're like, what are you talking about? And so I get to talking to them. I end up selling 4 mascaras on hand, and they literally were like, don't forget about me, can you go to your car next break we have? And I'm like, I have it in my car, don't worry, I can be hooked up. And even the chief nursing officer was asking about it, and I mean, I probably never approached her directly, because that's a little scary, but I'm glad that I started with that opener, because it like turned all the heads, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so fabulous. So anyways, so point being is really when things get down, get creative. You're not always going to have those top sales every single month, and that's okay. Meeting your minimum requirements to reach your goal is perfectly fine too. Again, I had no idea when I first started off that I even was excelling at it. Like, I thought that was the normal. So when I had my first month where I only had $600 in sales, I was really bummed. But it's just one of those things, it's a cycle of things, I mean, you have those people that start buying right at the very beginning, and they buy, it creates that hype at the very beginning, so it just kind of like trends out a little bit. But they will come back to you, and that's why you need to get more into products. And it's totally normal to have those lulls, but it's so worth it to stick with it, because I mean, it's just such a fun system in general. But no matter what you sell, you're earning more money than you started the month with. So that's it.
I'm going to talk to you tonight about home parties, about building your business offline. We've talked a lot about how to use social media, but this is kind of, for our company, an untapped resource that not enough of us are using. Like Kai said, in April this past month, I ranked number 6 on her team of 1,500. I had over 2,500 in PRS, and I did not have any online parties. Not only did I not have any online parties, I had no online sales. Not one. Not a single mascara sold online last month. It's just mine. All of my PRS last month came from a vendor event, cash and carry, and home parties. Krista was talking about pre-booking. I've already have home parties booked for May on the calendar. So I've already started working with those hostesses to get them excited. So that will kind of, just keep leading into more and more. So what I'm going to cover with you guys tonight is talking about what home parties really are, because I think there's some misconceptions about what they are. How to approach your potential presenters hostesses to get them to go ahead and sign on to do one. Setting up and running your party, closing your sales and following up with those people, and how to reward your hostess. So raise your hand if you've done a home party. Oh, good, that's more than I expected, that's awesome. Raise your hand if the idea makes you break out into a cold sweat. All right, don't be nervous. I think when people think home party, they think I am standing on the stage and there's a spotlight coming at me and everybody's attention is gonna focus on me and they're gonna have to, I'm gonna entertain them, right, for an hour or 2 hours, however long. All of this, all the attention is all on me. For me, what I feel is the most successful home party is to keep it as casual as possible. Just so casual. Don't feel like your home party has to be confined to a home. It could be done at a coffee shop. It could be done at somebody's work on their lunch break. It could be done at a restaurant. So don't feel like you have to find that hostess and then you have to go to her house and have a party. It doesn't have to be that way. Like I said, the best way to approach your home party is to keep it very casual. Set your products out on the table and encourage your guests to just start looking at them and playing with colors. This is going to take the attention off of you when you're setting up. You're not going to feel like everybody's just sitting there waiting for you, right? You're like, okay, I'm going. So just, they're talking about them, I'm setting them up. And as people are asking me those questions about those products, I'm not telling them, I'm not getting really specific. I'm just like, oh yeah, those are eye pigments, I'll show them to you. So you're building interest in the products, but you're not having to get distracted from what you're doing, and you're also at the same time feeling out the people in the party and what products that they may be interested in as the party goes on. So the thing about home parties is I think, obviously the point of a home party is to introduce product on hand so that people can see them, feel them, touch them, and do color choices and things of that sort. But the true meaning to me of a home party and what I have found to be the successful part of it is that it is relationship building. We all know that this business is all about building relationships, right? To me, a home party is probably the truest form of a sales relationship with my customers. You become friends with them while you're there. You talk about their family, you talk about their kids, and by the time that you leave that home party, you're gonna have a much deeper connection with that person. Never, ever, ever go into your home parties with the expectations of what you're going to sell these people. Go into that home party with the expectation of, I am going to teach them something new. I'm going to help them embrace a product that maybe they didn't know anything about, or I'm just going to share the love of what Younique is and what products we have. So there's a few different ways to approach your potential hostesses. I have shared a calendar online, just made a calendar and put in my dates of people that were already booked, and then said, hey, I've got such and such dates available. Who would like to host a home party? Also, as they are saying, don't just rely on that Facebook post. Make sure that you're reaching out personally with private messages, text messages, and phone calls. Somebody has mentioned products or how to do something, how do I do that smoky eye? How do I use this particular product? Hey, you know what? I would love to show you that. Why don't we set up a girls' night at your house? We'll get some wine and some chocolate and we'll just play with makeup. Totally no obligation. And that makes them feel like it's not you coming into their house to sell stuff to your friends. You're just coming in to hang out with them. So that's really important, is to make sure that it always stays and feels very casual. Talk to your past customers and say, I know you love that mascara and you were talking to me about getting that bronzer. Let's host a girls' night. Let's get together and hang out and maybe we can get that bronzer for free. Or offer them a half-off item for hosting that. And you guys have all those kudos stored up. Just give them a half-off item to host it. Offer this to ladies who are hesitant about online parties. Some women either are not internet savvy, or some of them just feel, have that stigma of bugging people. So this is a good way for them to have an intimate get together with their friends without feeling like they're blowing up their newsfeed. If you do a vendor event, or if you do a home party, always have information cards there that you can collect people's information. Like when I do a vendor event, I always have somebody fill out their information on the card. I have a spot to check, I am interested in hosting a party. So when they check that box, I call them. This is so important, guys. Don't email them, don't Facebook them, call them. Call them and say, hey, I saw that you had checked on your card that you were interested in hosting a party. Would you like to do an online party or home party? Notice I didn't say, so I saw that you checked it off, so were you still thinking about doing one? Because the chances are going to have changed their mind and said no, right? So just ask them which one they want to do. Majority of my people say they want to do an in-home party, and that's kind of how this has started for me. Once you book a party, there's a couple things that I do. So here's your tidbits for the night. I make a digital invite for my hostess, and I tell her that she can share this via text message, Facebook, email. So I make a cute little graphic, and I put such and such home party, or Younique lash bash. I don't actually call it a party, I call it a lash bash. In home, I make sure I put that somewhere. Her address, her number to RSVP if she's going to do snacks and all of that, and I put that right on the invitation. This makes her party feel so much more legit than her just calling up her friends, be like, hey guys, why don't you come over tomorrow night and we're gonna play with some makeup, It's an invitation, so they are expected to RSVP, and they feel obligated to RSVP one way or another. That A is gonna give you a better idea of how many people are coming, so you know what supplies you need to stock, and it's just gonna gear that up to be a more legit event. The next thing I do is I create a Facebook preview group for my hostess. So whatever day we decide we're gonna have her party, I'm gonna open a Facebook group, or set up a Facebook group for her 3 days prior to that party. We're gonna open a preview group. What this means is that it's not really the point of selling. It's just gonna be, hey, my name is Kelly, I'm a Blue Level presenter with Younique. I met Brenda at such and such, and I'm so excited to come to her house and meet all of you and show you guys some really cool products. So here's a little bit about Younique. And then I run a little video that has all the different products, things I love. And throughout those next 3 days, I introduce different products. I do a video tutorial of the mascara, so they're already prepped to know how it goes on, and that they're gonna love that. Then as the day goes on, I probably do maybe 3 posts a day, and I will do different products that I really like. Like I love BB creams, and I love contouring with BB creams, so I'll post some pictures of that. I love using the cream shadow mixed with a pigment to do a smoky eye look, so I will show pictures of that, and I will make sure that I tell them, we're going to do tutorials of this at your party. So they know they're not just coming to look at products and sit around, that we're actually going to have an activity. Which reminds me, don't feel like you have to have activities at your home parties, like you have to play games. You don't have to do, I've never played a game at a home party. We're so busy looking at everything and talking about stuff, there's not enough time. So don't freak out about doing that. I want to give you a quick story of kind of like my most recent preview. I met a girl, her name is Brandy, and I met her at a vendor event, and she had marked off on her card that she wanted to host a party. So of course I called her, and I said, hey, you want to do a party? So would you like to do in-home or online? I actually was hoping and gearing her towards online because she was over an hour away, and I didn't feel like driving there. But she's like, yeah, I want to do an in-home party. How soon is too soon? I just driven up there the weekend before, okay. I actually happen to have Saturday open, great, she booked it, we're good to go, so we start the process, we do the invite, we do the Facebook preview, I get in the car, I say, great, I can't wait to see you, I post on her preview the day of, everybody, can't wait, I'll be there at 6 o'clock, somewhere in between this I skipped over, make sure that you do some sort of relational post, like how do you know the hostess, or who's known the hostess longer, just something to help get to know the people that are going to be at the party, because it'll make it more comfortable when you get there to socialize with those people. But anyways, so I get in the car, and I'm driving, and about 40 minutes in, did I tell you this story? Yeah, about 40 minutes in, and I go, so I swore, but today, I go, crap, I forgot the mascara. 20 sets of mascara were home, neatly arranged on my buffet because I had taken them all out, and I had taken a picture because I was doing some Facebook game. So I call the hostess and I'm like, Brandy, I forgot the mascara. I think I should turn around. And she goes, they will be so angry. So I call my husband. I said, no, all right, I'm gonna turn around. It should be like, I built a half hour to set up, so I should be okay. We'll be like 15 minutes behind, it'll be all right. So I call my husband. I have 3 small children, they're 5, 3, and 1. You know how long it takes to put those into a car. Get in the car! Get in the car right now! Get in the car right now! Get in the car! And he's like, what are you talking about? So he gets in the car and he drives 20 minutes this way, and I turn around and I drive 20 minutes that way, and I meet him in the middle, and I get the mascara, and I hightail my butt back another 45 minutes. I get to the party 15 minutes late, and now the whole way there I'm like, what am I going to say, what am I going to say, what am I going to say, right? Because I'm thinking these women have been waiting for me for a good 20 minutes, and I walk in the door, and I'm like, I'm here! I'm here! And they're like, where have you been? I'm like, well, Brandy told me you'd be a lynch mob if I showed up without mascara, and it went over very well, and everybody laughed and broke the ice, and it was an incredible night. That home party itself sold almost $600 in product. When you get into a home party, introduce yourself quickly. Hey, my name is, and where can I set up? Kitchen table, counter island, somewhere that is where people naturally gather around. You want it to be conversational. Okay, so just start setting out your product. What's really important about this is that this process has to be duplicatable because you may have potential presenters in that room. So if you come hauling a table and tablecloths and decorations, they're gonna be like, wow, that's a lot of work, I can't do that. But if you just come in with your little luggage tote and your makeup and you set it out on a table, that's easy, right? It's like you brought your makeup bag and dumped it out. So make it simple. Then I talk about the products. I talk about the fact that they're naturally derived, that they're hyperallergenic. I talk about the fact that there's no harsh chemicals, no animal testing. I talk about the fact that majority of them are gluten-free and that a lot of them are vegan. So that really piques their interest of, oh, I didn't know that that your products were this type of line. They just are thinking, makeup. Then I talk about the company. I talk about the fact that it's a family-owned company because that's important to me. I talk about the fact that it's a faith-based company because that's important to me. I talk about the fact that it's a debt-free company because that's really important to me. If anybody knows, Leah Sophia, they went completely out. And so when I'm bringing on presenters, I want them to know this company has done it right from the get-go, and that's very important. And then most importantly, I talk about the foundation because I want people to know they're not just buying makeup. They're supporting a really amazing company and a really amazing cause. And then I ask this question, and you'll be surprised at the answer to this. Who here knew that Younique was more than mascara? People actually don't know that. We've done such a great job of marketing that we are mascara that not everybody knows that we carry an entire cosmetic line or an entire skincare line. Here's the good thing about that. Your whole customer base that you sold to mascara to, consider them brand new. Okay? You have a brand new set of customers that you can introduce a brand new line of products to because they did not even know it existed. So go back and hit those people up. All right, so like I said, this feels out your guests. I asked them if there's any specific questions. I talked to them about, do you have any skincare questions, product questions, technique questions, and then I asked for volunteers for tutorials. So, I'll say, hey, who would like to do a contouring tutorial? Who is interested in doing smoky eyes? And I usually will get 2 or 3 people, and then I will walk through the steps on myself. I'll show them how to do those, and then I will let them do those in the party. So this does 2 things. One, it makes it really simple. They're actually using the products and feeling them on their face, but they've done the process. So it takes the fear out of, I can't do that. I'm not a makeup person. I had a party a couple months ago, and I had 2 women in this party who told me that they don't use makeup. I don't have time. I don't use makeup. I don't know how to apply it. By the end of this party, both of these women had bought the Singular Sensation collection, which we don't have anymore, but a couple months ago. And I walked through exactly, this is what comes in the collection. This is how you're going to use it every single day. And I still am friends with them now, and I check in with them. Are you guys using your products? Yes, we love it. Made it so simple. Thank you so much. I have also made video tutorials on particular collections because that's the one somebody wanted to purchase, and they were kind of nervous about how to use that. So I just made them a tutorial and sent it to them later. Okay, here's all your products, and this is how you're going to use them. Mascara. Okay, I know I hear this a lot. How can I sell mascara if I can't sample mascara? We've said it. We've all said it. You've heard it a million times. Just wear it on one eye. It speaks for itself. So I wear it on one eye through the whole party, and then near the end, after I've done all my other tutorials, I apply it to the other eye. Because everybody's watching, so everybody sees it. I don't have to worry about them not believing that that's how it looks and that's how it goes on. So that's the simplest way to do that in a party. If your hostess happens to have mascara and she wants to let everybody try it and they're cool with that, then that actually is a really great thing to do. So after you go through everything, this is where you're going to usually start breaking out into one-on-one questions. You'll find that people are asking you specific questions throughout the party, so help direct them to where they're looking to go. This is your point where you're going to upsell. So if somebody is loving the cream shadow, upsell them the cream shadow brush. Tell them this was specifically designed with denser bristles to make sure that your cream shadow goes on smoother. If somebody's talking about, oh, my skin's too dry, when I put powder it looks flaky, talk to them about the Divine Lotion. Talk to them about applying the primer prior to. If you have somebody who likes multiple products, talk to them about collections. Like Krista said, this is so important that you guys know your product line. Get your catalog and study it. This is your business, right? You should know. If you owned a store, wouldn't you expect to know everything that you sold in your store, right? Because you would order it, you would stock it, you would know what was there, and you would know how much you sold it for. So get a catalog and memorize it. I mean, seriously, memorize it. When you go to a party, have 2 to 3 catalogs per 10 people or so that they have time to be able to pass them around and look through them. I plan to bring 1 mascara per guest invited to the party. So I always ask my hostess how many people she's planning on having, and that's how many mascara I bring. Because I fully intend to leave that party selling a mascara to every single person, maybe 2. Send people home with products. So let's say, like the last party, I had 2 people who bought collections. I had some eye pigments, and I had some glosses, and I had some liners there for individual sale, but they ended up buying a collection. So what I did was I sent them home with their mascara, and I sent them home with any pieces that I could put in that collection, and then I ordered the collection for them. This is gonna do something really important. If somebody comes into our home party and they spend $200 and they go home with nothing, what do you think they're feeling that night?
Buyer's remorse.
Little buyer's remorse, exactly. So if you send them home with their mascara and their eye pigments that they get to play with, they're just having fun with their products and they're not thinking about what they spent, they're just excited to get the rest of it. This is, I guess, I do a bulk order for my parties. I don't open a link right there and place people's orders individually. I just do one big bulk order. I take a carbon copied receipt book. I totally skipped that over all my slides, by the way. I had some slides, but it's okay. I take a carbon copy receipt book and I get everybody's information on each of their own receipts, including their email address. I write down exactly everything that they bought. I write down if they took it home. I put took next to it, and I put order next to it if I still need to place the order for it. And then if they paid, how they paid, and then I give them a copy. This is gonna cover your butt in case they say, oh, really, already? In case they say, I didn't get that product. All right, I'll wrap it up. Have a credit card reader with you, because without that, you're gonna lose sales. Okay, that's really, people come with like $36 in their pocket, they're gonna buy mascara, but if you have a credit card reader, then it gives them the ability to buy another couple $100s worth of products. When the party wraps up, thank everyone, and this is what I do. I let them know I'm gonna follow up with anybody who purchased mascara within 24 hours with a video tutorial. I email them a video tutorial of how to put the mascara on. And then I tell them, I'm gonna follow up with you in a week to see how you're liking it. Because expected communication is received better than just unsolicited communication. Hostess rewards, there's 2 different options that I use to give my hostess her rewards. One is I place that bulk order under a link that I've opened for her. So if I need to restock my supply, then that's what I will do. But if I don't, like the last one I had a bunch of leftover from a vendor show. So what I did with her, and I actually really like this and probably will continue to do this, is I have enough half off and Y cash stocked up that I just totaled what her rewards would be, and then I placed that order for her as part of her bulk order. So if you are going to order under her link, your perk to that is obviously that you potentially may get some additional sales, and I leave this up to the hostess if she kind of knows, if her parties can sell more. And then the perks to the other one is a lot more. One, the guests are going to see how much that she earned, and they're going to be more excited to host a party themselves. She doesn't need to deal with ordering, so she feels like she had a full service experience. She's gonna get her products quicker so that she can rave about them instead of waiting the customary 2 weeks, 2 months, a year that they, for some reason, wait to use those. And this is really important, so I have to tell you guys this. This can add points to your party. So with my last one, I was at, 200 or 300 points in my own party, and I placed her bulk order under my party link. So not only did I bump my percentage and my half off points above what she would have earned, so I got back what I gave her of mine, plus an extra 2% and an extra half off item. So I earned on top of my commission. Does that make sense? Okay, see me after if you have questions about how that works, because I know it's confusing. And then the following day, I just send a thank you on the Facebook preview group, and I tell them I was so excited to come. It was great to meet all of you. I personally thank everybody who purchased. I offer some sort of call to action, like half off product for hosting a party, whether it be in-home or online. And then, of course, I show the business opportunity. The last party, I did just have one of the girls sign on as a presenter yesterday. So the best part about this, like I was saying, is You made new customers that night, but what you really did was build a very deep relationship versus just an online party. The next time that girl has her friend host a, somebody says, invites her into a Facebook group for a Younique party, she is gonna actually feel like she has a Younique presenter, and she's gonna be loyal to you, okay? So, who's excited to try? Who's gonna do it? Raise your hand. All right, if you're still freaking out, who's still freaking out? Nobody? Oh, I did good then. All right, if you are freaking out, just do an in-home party. Do it at your house, invite a handful of friends, have some wine, have some chocolate, and just tell them this. I want you to come over to try my products so that you can feel comfortable referring them out, okay? You're not trying to sell them, you're asking them to come over so they can see it, so they can tell their friends that, yeah, it is really good stuff. All right, thanks guys.
I'm so excited to see everybody. A lot of you guys are from my team. Okay, first thing I'm going to talk about is selfies. Who is a selfie addict? I want to know. Me, I'm late for everything. I'm late for everything because I'm always taking a picture because I want to share with everybody what I'm doing, how I look. If it's one of those days like a yoga pants and t-shirt kind of day, I kind of skip it. But I want you guys to know because I'm sharing, not selling. So that's kind of a big deal. So I'm going to do a quick selfie demo, okay? Everybody get out your phones because you're doing it with me. All right. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Everybody hear me? Okay. Front-facing camera. And it's all about angles, right? Angles, lighting, you know what looks good on you. Okay, I kind of do the hair flip. Okay, I have a signature pose. I don't smile a lot. Angle, right? You know, I want to hide this. I don't want to look like a velociraptor. I don't want anybody to see up my nose. Okay, but it's true, right? You're your brand, you're your face. Show it, okay? So I'm going to stand in the corner, hair's over here. My lighting's not so great. This stuff is crap, but okay, and take your selfie. Okay, pose, pout. Anybody have the RBF face? I can't really say it, but you know what I'm talking about? I'm kind of known for that. Okay, if you don't know, ask the person next to you or Google it. So we're gonna to the side, and that's it. And I want you guys to post these on your social media sites. Instagram, Facebook, with the hashtag, because we're trending, Pure Younique. Get it? Pure Michigan, Pure Younique? Yeah. All right. Let me know when you guys are, you guys team up. Here, let's do like Ellen style. Here. I'm going to comment on all of them. Okay, so a little bit about me, stay-at-home mom with two little babies. Well, they're not babies, but they're always going to be my babies. You guys get that, right? They're 3 and 4, and I'm just like you. I have fears, I have insecurities, I have things that really scare the hell out of me with this business, but I'm going to face them head on. My wonderful sponsor, Kai, she's like, if it scares the hell out of you, you got to do it. I'm like, all right. So here I am, and this is the second training I've spoken at. I talked in Minnesota with Amber Voigt. You guys know her. She's kind of a big deal. Okay, so that's my spiel. I don't want to bore you with my lovely stuff. So you're your brand, okay? Your face is your brand. You're a brand within a brand. You're building a business, sharing products that you love, because we're sharing, not selling. You all should have Blitz cards, okay? This is my face. The resting, the RBF face that I was telling you about. Here it is. It's all over my social media sites, and these are my lashes, okay?
What is our view? Come on.
It's resting bitch face. Okay, now you know. I hand these out to everybody. I'm my brand. When they look for me on social media, they're gonna be like, oh, that's the girl. I mean, I try to look like this all the time. But that's the girl, right? So that's my thing with selfies. And make sure they're on your business cards, your Blitz cards, all that. I really feel like that's important. Now I'm gonna get into kind of how I run my day. I'm gonna touch on Instagram. I built a really big Instagram following very fast. And this is how I did it. Here are the apps that I use. I use tags for likes, Insta followers, and Instagram. Really easy. I keep them on a little folder on my iPhone. It's organized. It's easy for me to find. In the morning, I post something interactive, something fun, a call to action post for my followers, tag a selfie addict. They tag me all the time. Tag a lipstick junkie, somebody who motivates you, inspires you. Those are the kind of things that you want to post in the morning, right? It's a great way to start your day. My followers are looking at my account and they're like, oh, there she is, a ray of sunshine. Really, I have no makeup on, no coffee. Just have my coffee, right? My Instagram is also linked to my Facebook business page because they should be ran exactly the same. So you can do that in your settings. Okay, Instagram just changed the rules again, and you cannot put hashtags in the comment section anymore and have it trend. So now when you post the picture, you need to post your hashtags right away. A little bit about hashtagging. Get creative, guys. Do not use Younique 3D fiber lashes. Don't use, I don't know, makeup. I mean, get creative. You need trending hashtags that are popular, like smile, selfie addict, makeup mafia. Use your location, Detroit. I use Minneapolis. I use Latina because I want to attract those new Latina presenters. So get creative. The only people who are going to look for 3D fiber lashes and unique hashtags are unique presenters, right? So think about that. What's your target market? What's your demographic? Where are you going with your post? Hashtagging is a really good way to get into whoever you want to sell. If it's fit moms, hashtag fit mom. If it's think lifestyle, okay, dance life, chair life, think outside the box. Lunchtime, I'm going to go in, lunchtime I'm going to go in and follow 15 followers in hopes that they follow me back, okay? They see that I have a fun account, I interact with my followers, hoping they're going to follow me back, right? And then dinner time, I'm going to post something business related, okay? Because that's the biggest time for online traffic. I'm going to go in and post a selfie. I'm going to share my team's success. I try to share their promotions on there. I share my success. I share life. I'll take a picture of my kids. I'll maybe share a little thing what I've done with them for the day. They want to know you. You're a business owner, but you're also a person, and you need to come across as that. You don't always want to sell, right? So think lifestyle. Think of how you're going to attract somebody. Think of how you've been attracted to this business and market it that way. I want you to really be creative. Okay, I'm going to talk about creativity a lot tonight because I keep seeing the same things, right? Same trending lash pictures, same people. Like, no, we got to change this. We need to share ourselves. We are a brand, we are a business. So share yourself, right? Share your selfies. Become a selfie addict and post them all the time. They're not going to get sick of them. Do a look of the day. I do lots of looks of the day. It's kind of fun. I reach out to celebrities, okay? I'm a business owner, and I reach out to them like a business owner. And I'm like, oh my God, we pulled off this stuff. That's not me. I approach them very They'll sometimes have like their publicist email accounts or something in their profile where you can reach them or directly message them. Don't be surprised if they don't message you back right away, but follow up. That's kind of how I built my business on Instagram very fast. I teamed up with Housewives of New Jersey, Amber Marchese. She's now a client of mine. She gets a fun bi-monthly shipment from me and she shares. She tweets it out, she Instagrams it for me, and I'm very appreciative because I get lots of sales and it's fun. I've reached out to bloggers, mommy bloggers. I've teamed up with somebody who won Cupcake Wars. These are people who have big followings. It doesn't matter if they're on Food Network or Bravo. They wear mascara and they have a bigger following than I do. So in return for free product, they just give me a shout out. Okay, so that's Instagram. And I do have a call on Instagram that I did a while back in the fall. If you guys have more questions, I can always refer you to that call, and Carla David was on it with me. And it talks about how I worked it from start to finish, day in and day out. And consistency is key, guys. You have to be present on your social media sites. If you're not present, you're gonna start losing followers really fast. So 2 to 3 times a day, you need to be present on all fronts. And when I say all fronts, I mean Facebook, Instagram, business page, Twitter, whatever you're on, be consistent. Okay, branding. I've mentioned that a couple times because I feel like it's such a big deal. How are you different from everybody else? What makes you the expert in what you do? How many of you see my videos? Anybody? Okay, that's how I've drawn people into my business, especially on Facebook. And I'm working on YouTube. I'm building that channel, it takes time. But my videos have really gotten me in to a whole new worldwide market. So I suggest getting out of your comfort zone. I really push my team. I know Heather's here. I see you. I remember she was like, Austin, I can't do it. I'm like, if you don't do it, I'm gonna post it for you. But she did it, and she sold a lot of lip stains that day. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to push yourself to do things that you don't want to do. Okay, videos are great. Don't watch it if you don't want to. I don't, honestly, okay, so I film mine, I edit it really quick, and I don't watch it. Okay, I'm like, oh, I'm good. We'll watch it tonight on the big screen together. Okay, so how do you build your brand? You are going to, next page. You're gonna think about what everybody, like think really hard. What do people think about me? And how would they say I do at this or at this? Do they think I'm good at makeup? Do they think I'm good at selfies? Build yourself to be the expert. Hold some team calls, post that call on your Facebook, start drawing other presenters in. It's building influence. You're marketing yourself as this expert, right? And it's building your brand also creates leadership opportunities, okay? My friends list is almost maxed out, and I have a lot of followers. I probably get a message a day about opportunity because I've marketed myself as the expert, not only at applying makeup, I'm no makeup artist, but I know how to do it on myself. But I've also shared team success. I've shared other people's success that aren't on my team, and I've branded myself as a leader. And people want to follow leaders. They want to join a leader. So if you have one person on your team or 5,000, market yourself as a leader. It's very important because I would rather join somebody who is establishing themselves as a leader. Somebody's like, I'm just figuring it out, but we'll do it together. No, that's not what I do. Okay? I need some more concrete evidence that, okay, you're going to get me to where I want to go. You want to build credibility. Credibility is a big deal in this business, right? There's 200,000 presenters, and you need to stand out, right? So your credibility is really everything. Like, oh, well, I don't know, I don't have a good example. Try to be credible, but credibility is important. Also, recognition is important, right? That's part of branding. Kai shares my success and her team's success. I talk about success a lot because that's what attracts people in. It's attraction marketing 101. If you're not successful, people aren't going to be attracted to you. And it's not bragging, it's not tooting your own horn, okay? Be proud of what you've accomplished, right? If you're qualified for the month, post, woohoo, hit my first goal, okay? That's all they need to know. But they see that you're winning, and winning is a big deal in this business. Everybody wants to join a winner, right? I've posted, I'm trying to think of an example. Something about our team doing over $20,000 in sales, just my leg alone. And boom, messages, holy moly, $20,000 with mascara. Tell me how you did it. Okay, that's establishing your credibility, you're building your influence, and you're sharing your results. I want you to when you're building your brand, keep your imagery the same on all platforms, right? So you're gonna see that face on my Instagram account, on my business account, and on my Facebook account, and on my YouTube, okay? Because just like when I go to hand somebody this card, that's how they're gonna find me. Right? Oh, there she is. I remember her. Yep, this is her. Got it. And plus, my channels are listed. So keep that in mind. Oh, let's see here. How am I doing on time? Am I good on time? Okay. Be creative with your hashtagging. We talked a little bit about that when you're building your Instagram. But I also want you to use them on your Facebook posts, right? Like, woohoo, Carla promoted, right? Then I'll hashtag Boss Babes, because when they see Boss Babes, I want them to think of Austin Renee. Okay, that's branding. When they hear Lash Factory, I want them to think of me, my team. When they hear Mascara Pays Our Bills, I want them to think of Younique. Those are the 3 big hashtags that I use that you'll see often in my post. If you don't see them, you can follow me or send me a friend request. That's how you see them. So that's kind of how I keep myself relevant. That's how I built my brand. And I've talked about posting every day, 2 to 3 times a day, and mix it up. Selfies, looks of the day, videos, life. I mean, I have 2 toddlers, they're 3 and 4. If my son pees in the potty and not on the floor, it's a really big deal in my house. I'm like, woo, he did it, and you're gonna hear about it. Okay, that's attraction marketing. You're like, wow, look at her. She's done $20,000 in sales last month, and she's a mom of a toddler, and she's potty training, holy moly. If she can do it, I can do it too. Okay, that's how you need to market yourself. That's how I've marketed myself, and it's done very well for me. And I know it'll do well for you too. I want you to also, so let's say you post a video and you're like, holy crap, I can't believe I did it. Okay, you're like, you're waiting for the likes and comments to come, okay? And you're breathing, right? Okay, because this is me the first time, I was like, oh my God, they're gonna be so mean to me. And they weren't, okay? Everybody was so nice, and I was like, they liked it, I can't believe they liked my video. But in order to keep that video going, right, you want it to stay in the news feed, you need to interact with people who are commenting. Okay, they're like, oh my God, good job. Say thank you. Okay? Or it's so pretty, thank you. Have you tried it? Here's my link. You know, or let's talk. Or how did you know, you'll probably get some questions. You need to respond within 5 to 30 minutes so they don't lose interest. Right? It's still fresh in your brain. It's gonna send it back to the top of your friends and followers news feed. Okay? And ask the friends and family to share your video. Hey, would you mind sharing this for me? And that's gonna help get some views. That's how I got over 40,000 some views on one video. I got 30,000 on another, 15,000 on another. It's because I'm asking my friends and family to support me. Right? Hey, just share this for me real quick. Yeah, no problem. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. No. So that's kind of my spiel on branding. If you have any questions, I'm always happy to help. It's a process. Oh, we'll take questions later. Just write it down if you're like me, I forget everything. So videos, I talked about it really quick. I want you to make sure that your lighting is good so you can see the color of the products that you're using. And focus on one thing. That's what I try to do, is I focus on one thing. I'll do a quick smoky eye, I'll do a lip demo, an ombre lip, things that I like that I know look good on me. And I keep it like a commercial, right? I use, longest one was like 1 minute 30 seconds. I edit it down, and I keep the music fun and relevant, and because let's face it, if it's 10 minutes long, you've lost me a long time ago. So yeah, I do into edit for iPhone, Apple users. I use iMovie. iMovie gives you lots and lots of options. I also use Clipper. Clipper's pretty cool, but you have to pay for it. Viva Video. Viva Video is a fun one. It allows you kind of to play with the speed of the video, and you can crop and edit and put things together. And I did talk about lighting, guys. Natural lighting works best. This stuff, not so much. Yellow lighting in the bathroom, no. You want it direct. You want light directly in your face. You don't want it above. You don't want it here. You want it in your face. And you might be like seeing spots for a little while if you're using like a lamp or like an LED light. But lighting is very important. Bathroom lighting is not good. I don't suggest using that. It gives you shadows on your face, and you can kind of see more of like, well, for me, I like the circles, like the tired mommy eye. So that's what works for me. I'm happy to answer any questions later, and I hope you guys find that helpful.
Okay, so I love doing vendor events. When I first started, I started August 2013 with Younique. And I was like, I really want to do these events. I think they seem fun. And so that's sort of how I started. I did the online thing a little bit too, but I networked online. My presenters were all mostly from online, but then if I wanted, I could like sell mascara at vendor events. It's very easy to do. So a lot of questions I get are, how do you find events? So there are some websites online that you can find, but what I'm going to tell you to really think about is do your research, because you can find events or hear about events, and some presenters will come back and be like, how was your event? And they'll be like, oh, there was nobody there, it was a total dud, I sold like a mascara, or like, I did an event, okay, this is a funny story. I did an event when I first started. It was in a hotel, and it was like in like a Northville area, which was like a nice area, and I was like, okay, this will be good. They put us upstairs. So they didn't advertise for it very well, and there were like no customers there. But I'll tell you, some of my best return customers now are other vendors that I met at that event. I also, at those dud events, do your networking, make sure that they friend you and you stay in contact, because A, they'll tell you when there's a good event that they did, and you can like take note and sign up for it the following year. Or there's a coordinator that you know does good events, you know what I mean? So you can network that way. But I've had presenters come from the duddiest of vendor events because they follow you on Facebook, they see you're having success, they want a little piece of it. So just do your due diligence with that and make sure that you're taking full advantage of that. My good events I learned about from other direct sellers. So I make friends with people, and some join me, some don't, but you all work together and tell each other what's good. So that's what I recommend doing versus just doing a Google search. I mean, there's craftfestival.net, I think. There's different ones like that, but that's how I find them, is asking around. These are questions that you want to ask yourself prior to doing an event. First of all, will your ideal client be at this event? Obviously, you don't want to prejudge and things like that, but you want to think about what the event is going to bring to you and what people it's going to put you in contact with. Another question is, are people expecting to spend money at the event? This will determine how much product you choose to bring with you and sort of your purpose in doing the event. So obviously, if you're doing a women's expo, people are going there ready to shop. If you're doing, I did like a fashion show event, and people had to buy tickets to come into the show. That show I didn't really sell very much, but you know, looking back at it, it's more about who did I meet there that I furthered my business that way. So you want to sort of think about that when you're prepping. Is like what is the purpose for them coming to this? This leads into what are your goals for the event. So is your goal for the event to like buy a ton of stuff and sell it? Is your goal for the event more making appointments to book makeup or one-on-one consultations? Is it more about booking parties or meeting people that would also like to be presenters? And a lot of the presentership that goes hand in hand with your selling. But like I personally don't do bridal events because I don't do makeup. And most people that come into the bridal event are not necessarily looking to buy anything. They want freebies and to, you know, see what's out there, and you might get some mothers of the bride buying, but that's I personally don't do them, because if you're a makeup artist, that's perfect. You can go in and make appointments and put Younique on them, and they'll buy a collection and, you know, schedule their bridesmaids or whatever. It's perfect, you know. Okay. So you want to form a strategy for that. So other questions that you want to ask are, what's the cost of the event and how many hours is the event? So, like this event that I did, it was a big expo. It was $1,100 to do the event. We had 4 girls that worked, and what we did was, I took the total hours of selling, which was 38. I divided the cost. There were always 2 girls there, so basically it cost $14.50 an hour to be at the event. And that's how I split it. But depending on whether you're bringing a direct downline and you think that their volume would help you, you might want to do it differently. The other thing that I personally do is everybody brings their own product. If you have a really trusting relationship with that person, like I did an event with Grace, and we swapped. So like if I was out of black pencils, you know, I gave her a brown pencil and I sold her black. But you know, sometimes if you don't have that close of a relationship, you might want to just sell what you have and then and write down, you know, what you sell at the time to make sure that you're good with that. So these are other questions I like to ask is like, how many years have they been doing the event? How do they advertise for the event? And most people that are coordinating the event will be like, I advertise a lot, but you know, so you kind of have to, you know, be wary of like sort of what they're saying and again, experience with the event. And then I ask how many people they expecting to come through the event. You want to kind of drop that number down a little bit because it may or may not be super accurate. One formula that one of my girls uses is 10 mascaras per 1,000 people, but I think that's a little inflated. I don't do that much personally, but it kind of gives you a ballish park. Again, you want to note like why are people coming to the event? That will affect it. So preparing. So how much stock do you want to bring? And that's where I said I go under that. So like this event, we sold about 275 lashes. We also sold other product at the event. But that event was forecasted 40,000 people coming to the event. And then the other cool thing about Younique is now people are looking for our booth, you guys. So when I first started doing these events, nobody had heard of it. Maybe they'd seen one picture on Instagram, and now people are like, I was hoping you'd be here. And I'm like, I'm here to save you, girl. Like, come get some mascara. So that's pretty cool. And actually what I've noticed with the numbers when I've repeated events is my sales each year increase because, again, the first year I did it, it was a lot more instruction and education, and now people are ready and they've been exposed. And just like with sales, the more you're exposed to something, the more you want it, and the more likely you are to purchase it. So I try to track my events from year to year and see where we're at. You want to decide what you're selling your product for. So obviously, we always sell at least catalog price for things. But like we got creative, especially we had that kudos, you know, there was that kudos with the little lips on it. And what we did at that event, because we couldn't even get those bags prior to the event, but we put together like sort of our own kudos. So we did like a mascara, a gloss, and a pencil. and those did really well, like bundling those products, and that sort of makes sense in the grand scheme. As far as mascaras, what I tell people is, when people ask how much it is, I say it's $29, and then when I total them up, I say with tax, it's $31. And then guess what? Nobody is like, you know, tax. I've never paid tax in my life. So it's something people are used to doing. But like when I first started selling, I would just sell it for $29. Well, it's $1.74 in tax that I just paid for that mascara. And so when I went back and looked at my numbers, I was like, I made $200 extra because I actually asked for the tax that they owed me. So that's kind of cool. So that's kind of how I do the mascara with that. Another suggestion, if you're doing an event that's really pricey, like something like a bridal show, if you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it, it's whatever, $300 to do this event, I really wanna make my money back, you know, that kind of thing. You wanna sort of see what you would need to sell in order to make your money back. But what I've done is I bank up my hostess reward credits, and you know that doesn't go toward your PRS or your goals for your rank, but that way I know once I've sold 10 mascaras, that's $290 in my pocket, like I've made my booth back and I did not lose money on the event. So that's something you can think about doing, and it kind of softens the blow if you're doing a pricier event. If you're doing smaller craft shows and things like that, you know, it's about $25 to $55 for your booth, you know, and that's not a big deal. But the bigger ones, I can see why you'd be like, I just want to make sure I do good. So I get questions a lot. What products do I bring to the event? What should I invest in? What do I need to do? Lashes, obviously. Lashes. That's what people are coming in for. That's our flagship product. And then I suggest doing other popular products. I mean, if you get a bunch of black pencils, you'll sell them. If you get a bunch of sexy pigment, Curious, you know, those really popular ones, those will sell. If you already have stock, because I have like a wide array of stock, so if you already have stock, what I suggest too is wear, like here's an example. I did an event and I had a bunch of angelic, like a lot, because back in May last year, we had a gift bag that had angelic in it. So I have a ton of it. But I don't usually wear that one. And I was like, I really want to sell this. And I'm like, ding, I need to wear it. So I wore it, I talked about it. Oh, look at this one. Oh, you know, you're thinking about pigments, this one's really pretty. I talked about it, and we sold them. So sell what you have, wear what you want to sell, and that will definitely help. I do the one-eye thing at my events as well. I've tried it both ways, where I put a regular mascara on, and then to compare it, and then I've also tried it with bare lashes, and I personally kind of like the bare lashes better. It's a little bit more like jolting, because then when I put other mascara on, somebody always has an objection that, well, that's a crappy mascara. I'm like, really? Because it was $28, and I know a lot of people that like Lancome, and I'm like, really? Like, it's a crappy mascara? Whatever. So I move on, but I kind of like the bare lashes a little bit. I thought it was a good, and if you're doing it with two people, have one person wear regular mascara, and then have one person do bare lashes and mascara, because then you can sort of, like, that's what I did there. Somebody was like, well, you have bare lashes, and I'm like, Val? And she's like, and then they bought it, so it was all good. And then the other thing I want to talk about is, what do you love to talk about? Because if you love the primer, get some primer, because you'll sell it. Here's a perfect example. Grace did an event with me in Lansing, and together, I don't think I sold one. Did I sell one? No. She sold 9 primers at the event, because she loves it, and she loves to talk about it. And so I would suggest, if she asks me what should I have for an event, I would say, get some primer, because you're awesome as a plant. Okay, a couple other things. Things that you'll kind of want to think about investing in are some folding tables, tablecloth. If you don't have photos printed, our catalogs are so big and beautiful now. I actually just opened that middle page with Anya's eyes, and like that was my picture, and it drew people in. I had it kind of at the front of my table. So because I broke a bunch of picture frames on my way over to the event, and then my pictures were ruined, and so I used the catalog, and it worked great. You want to make sure you have either a Square Reader or PayPal. You do pay a fee with that. That's sort of the way that it goes. And that's also why it's nice to sell for $31, because it kind of pays for a little portion of that. You want some cash to give people change. Oh, and don't worry about doing $31. Most people can find a one. That's something else I learned, because I was like, how am I going to give them all this change? It's kind of crazy, and people usually have a one somewhere. You want to make sure you have your business cards or blitz cards, drawing slips, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. I like to do testing ones for the gloss, and testing ones, and like brushes and things for them to play with my pigments. Tape and scissors and bungee cords and things like that. What else do I need? A receipt book, a notebook. I like to have a new presenter's kit shown on my table because it's really easy to transition into having the conversation about being a presenter when you have the kit right there and you can see what you get for $99. And like the Vistaprint sign, it's pretty cheap. You can usually find a coupon, it's like $99. I like that one. So those are things that you definitely want there. So this is how I like to set up my event. How am I doing on time? 8 minutes, okay. So I have a 4-foot, it's called a trading table. So it's not low, it actually raises up to about here. And I like that because I hate looking down. So if I'm shopping, like I don't want to be like this, like looking at stuff. Like it's more comfortable to be like here and looking at things and playing with stuff. And how we had it was a 4-foot table in the front and then a long 8-foot table in the back. And then that way, as people sort of walked by, this was for the people that are non-committal. If everything is right in your booth, then they sort of feel like they have to commit to walking in and look at it and they have to talk to you. But I've had so many people walk by and they do one of these. And they kind of, they'll shimmy back over and then they might play a little bit. And you know, I'll talk to them, but I'm very chill, very cool with them. And then they start to play with it and then they want it and then, you know, you kind of move from there. But I kind of like that setup. And it's not so like, I don't feel like I have to pull them in. And the other thing I like to do is do like various levels of things because I think visually it's better if you have some things that are higher and lower and you kind of get a nice little setup that way. Before I even get to drawing forms, because I don't think I put this in my notes, I want to talk a little bit about how I talk about the mascara when I'm talking to people at these events. So when I first did the event, the first big one that I did, I called up my friend and I'm like, I'm not selling what I thought I was going to sell. And she's like, okay, tell me what you're saying to people. And I said, okay, I say, hi, have you heard of Younique? We're a naturally based company, we're really, really new. And she's like, stop, just stop right there. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh, no. She goes, you need to just talk about the mascara. So she goes, just ask them. This is what I do now. I say, have you heard of our 3D Fiber Lash Mascara? Have you heard of 3D Mascara? And usually, you know, they say whatever. They say, no, I haven't. And I'll say, it's super easy to put on. You take, and I always have my tubes. You only take 2 tubes like this. You start with the transplanting gel. You put that all over your lashes. Second step, 100% green tea fibers. I apply those to my lashes as well. That's what makes them longer and thicker. And then I go back over it with the transplanting gel to seal those fibers on. It doesn't smear, it doesn't smudge, it will last you all day, and it comes off at night with your regular makeup remover, soap and water, or our amazing shine balm. It's 20, and then sometimes I'll pause, and then they'll ask how much is it. But sometimes I'll go, if they pause and they don't ask me a question, then I'm ready to go to the next step. It's $29 plus tax for the set. It'll last you 2 to 3 months with everyday use, and we have it here today. And then if they're still quiet and they don't say anything, then I'll hand them my card and I'll say, you can always order it online. This is my website here. But like I said, we have it today. And then if you are doing some sort of a show special or something, you can go into that. But my biggest suggestion is to make sure you sort of have your spiel and practice it, because the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, the more confident you are, and then they're more likely again to shop with you because they don't think that you're like this awkward mascara girl that's like really super nervous. So preparing for events, okay, drawing forms. I didn't have drawing forms for this one event, which was fine. What I decided to do with that one was ask people when they purchased if they would like to be a part of our sales and promotions email. So I would take down their email if they wanted to do that, and I would follow up that way. And then what I did at this event, which I really liked doing, was asking, would you like an application video, email or texted to you? And most people said yes, and so that's what I did to follow up. And then that's giving them that little extra step of customer service as well. Another thing I want to mention, my first event that I said was kind of a bust and I didn't quite have my spiel down and everything, is we were like, free mascara, you want to, fill out the form for free mascara? Don't ever offer to give away a mascara, because everybody will think that they are going to be the lucky winner and they will not buy from you. So give away a lip gloss, give away a sample pick, if you don't want to give away products, give away like a sample pack, give away a little makeup bag that you bought at the dollar store, but don't give away mascara. Okay, so that's sort of how I draw people in. Like I said, it's like, have you ever heard of 3D Fiber Lash Mascara? And then this is what I wanted to also mention, because now we have that brand recognition. A lot of people have tried it. And I actually sold to a lot of people that said, when I'm like, they would talk to their friends and be like, oh, I don't know, fibers. You could, because there's, oh, and the fibers and that. I'm like, so tell me how you put it on, and I'm like, let me talk to you, because if you don't like the mascara, you're the person I want to talk to. So I would sort of go over the application process with them and walk them through that. And like one lady told me, she was like, the brush, I don't know, something was weird with the brush. And she's like, I'm like, we need to get that exchanged. And then she ended up buying some lip stains and other stuff from me too while I was there, because she felt taken care of. And that's really what we're doing. And then as far as other application things, I ask them. I don't tell them how you apply it, I ask them how they apply it. And that helps them, me troubleshoot, like, they did not stay with the jump, because that's like 95% of the people that have a problem, that's the issue. Upselling at the event. So mascara, and then you can also, I still have skittish on my hand, it will not come off. I did all my stains on one hand and all my liners on the other, and I mean, those are the easiest things to demo, because you're like, lip color, eye color, doesn't come off, look at this, and people are amazed by it. And then you can talk about those products too. And again, if you love talking about skincare, that will take, if it's a slower event, you might want to sit and really hash that out. If it's busier, you might want to just kind of stick with color. But Grace always is like, before you go, I have some primer, and she squirts it on there, and then she sells 9 of them, it's crazy. And then again, with the full service tech checkout, can I email you a video and kind of, and make sure you follow up that way. Okay, so to demo or to not demo at the event? I don't demo. I have gotten some sales because people went to other events where they demoed, but I don't do, I'm like, hey, I don't do them, because I really think if people really want to buy it, they'll buy it. And what I've also done for people that are skeptical and on the edge is I tell them, buy my mascara, put it on right here. I've got a nice little makeup chair, put it on, and if you don't love it, I will refund you right now, right here and now. We have an excellent return policy. And I've had a few people do that, and of course, then they're my demo, because then people come in and they check it out, and they're like, wow, this is incredible, wow, 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 wow. I've never, ever had anybody return it to me at that point, ever. They love it. But like, I think a lot of people are just like, I want to just try it. And actually I did demo once for this one girl and she didn't buy it. And I was like, see, you should have trusted yourself. Don't demo it. So that's just my take on it. But I do like to do the glosses and colors. I think that's a good thing to do. Talk about following up, networking with other vendors we talked about. And just remember, like, when you're doing an event that you're an ambassador for Younique, you're setting, yes, we're all independent, but you're setting the stage and you're setting somebody's experience with Younique. And then as you're creating those relationships, people will be loyal to you. Just remember that you're don't be on your phone, don't be, checked out. Like, be there, be present, help them, and you will have a really successful event. So, thank you so much.
So I'm actually going to start with personal development, and then we're going to segue a bit into time management. And what if I told you there's Pinterest involved? Would that pique your interest? What is the point of personal development? And the whole concept behind it is to renew your mind and to get yourself into a place to build a business. A lot of us have no experience with this whatsoever. And one of the best things you can decide to do, one of the wisest things you can do, is learn from those who have already done it. You want to become a student of the masters who went before you. So who are some of the people you admire in your life? I would actually encourage you to get out a pen and paper and write down that list of people who have done what you want to accomplish. One of the biggest things I tell my team is don't seek advice from the janitor if you're wanting to build a multi-million-dollar business. And that's typically what we do, and it brings us down to such a terrible level because we go and we talk about our goals and our dreams to people who do not understand what you are trying to accomplish and probably cannot dream big themselves. So talk with the people, your upline, people who have gone before you. These are the people you need to put yourself in line with and find out what it is that they did. And I can tell you that there probably is not a leader that is making over 6 figures in this industry that will tell you they do not do personal development every day. And some of them, they will tell you they actually spend a couple hours a day doing personal development. So I'm actually not going to talk on this one too long. I'm actually going to give you guys a couple of the biggest ones that have influenced me in my life. And one of them was Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I actually read that when I was about 16 years old. And that book, I can promise you, is what set me on pace to be a purple presenter with Younique and gunning for black. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you don't understand how money flows and the power of network marketing, that is like seriously the best place to start and find out what network marketing and direct sales can really do for you and get you out of that rut, get you to your goals and dreams, because honestly, a 40-year job probably is not going to get you to where you want to be. And if you're in this room, I'm willing to bet you're a big thinker. You're already a big dreamer. So you need to get yourself in line with those who dream big and live big as well. Again, his book was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. One of the second books I read that had a massive impact on my life was The Magic of Thinking Big. I remember watching my dad read these books when I was growing up. That man, he's done personal development before anybody had really a label for it. I think Zig Ziglar, I mean, just shells of John Maxwell and all these awesome leaders. But one of the first books he handed me was The Magic of Thinking Big. And if you're struggling to really dream and wrap your head around the idea of what this business can do for you and that you are free to dream, because this world will cut your dreams down so fast when you share them. And I will encourage you to also be cautious of it, who you share your dreams to. A lot of times you gotta set yourself up for success. If you're talking to people who do not dream big, they're just gonna cut you down. And you've been taught, get your head out of the clouds, stop daydreaming, don't do this, don't do that. Magic of Thinking Big is gonna draw that inner child right back out of you, and you're gonna be dreaming and coming up with great ideas, and you're gonna draw back on that creativity you had when you were a kid. And I would highly encourage to maybe find some other books that are similar and really dive into that if you're really struggling to get out of the everyday thinking and dreaming big. Can I be debt-free? Yeah, you can be debt-free. Can a business like this get me there? Absolutely. But a lot of people don't believe that it's even possible. Most people believe they will actually die with debt. And I don't want to be that person. I dream of actually helping others pay off debt. But it starts with personal development. Another one I would suggest is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is the next book that my dad handed me. And I can guarantee if you capitalize on what is in this book and become professional at building relationships, you will be black status in this business. It all depends on how you build, how you connect. One of the biggest questions I get from people is, where do I find people? Well, look around you. Your husband's a people, his boss is a people, your boss is a people. The key is learning how to connect with the ones we're already around, and not hoping that fish will just jump in our boat and we don't have to use any skill set to connect with people. Actually, John Maxwell is another master at it, but I highly recommend starting with the core of Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Again, that's like another old book, The Magic of Thinking Big and How to Win Friends and Influence People. I have my dad's original copies. They are falling apart. They are highlighted to death. But they're such oldies and they're goodies. But you can even pick them up, watch them in garage sales, because I have found several that are like hardcover, old, and I scoop them up and I'll give them out to people. But another thing to encourage you in the personal development before I get into the business development side, because the two kind of get mixed, and I believe you need to work on your personal development before you should even start going into business development. You want to dream big, you want to have a goal, you want something to feed on before you start diving into your business. So get that magic of thinking big, find out what your why is and why you want to build this business. And then you want to get into learning about, okay, now how do I build my business as a real leader? What are the leaders doing in this industry to build their business? My number one favorite book is Network Marketing for Facebook right now. It is by Brian Carter and Jim Lipkin. Jim's become actually a good friend of mine and mentor on building on Facebook. Creates a really good system that's simple to follow to build your business and get like a really good, simple system going. And then you can capitalize on it by doing those fun videos like you're seeing on the screen behind me. And those are going to have such a stronger impact if you have a good basis to work with. Another one is Eric Worre's Go Pro. If you're not really familiar with how network marketing and direct sales really works, this is going to lay that groundwork for you. And really, it's going to feed on what you've learned prior about building your imagination. It's going to get you so excited. It's like, okay, now I've got this dream, and now I've got the system to do it. I understand, okay, this is how I am going to do it. And I can tell you those books are what freed me. I knew I didn't want to be that person that was going to work 40 years in a job. I have a hard time sitting still for very long in anything. I usually pick up a hobby and I drop it about as fast as I pick it up. I wanted to be with people, I wanted to be networking, I wanted something fresh, I wanted something new. And I knew network marketing was something that could do that for me. So that was my dream from 16 years old, to be in network marketing or direct sales. And then my dad really, I can't say enough about him. He put me on a good path for that. And I owe a lot to my dad for being an example to me during that. But I know some of you are going, okay, I can't afford to be just dropping money on books right now. I don't have cash. So I'm going to throw some things at you that are cheap, affordable, that you can even just get started on while you're starting to build your business, because there's some really great resources out there and people don't know where to get them. YouTube for starters. It's not just for silly videos and people doing those fail videos. My husband's addicted to those. It drives me absolutely crazy. On lunch break, I know he's on lunch because like from noon to 1, it's like fail video after fail video. My text messages are blowing up and it just cracks me up. But I use my YouTube actually to listen to people like Jim Rohn. There are some fantastic free audios that you can plug into from some of these people who have gone before us, and he literally has gone before us. He is gone now, but Jim Rohn is absolutely fantastic, and he's got tons of free content on there. Danny Johnson is another one who's really good about getting on YouTube and putting out free content. In fact, she has a free book on her website right now, and it is one of the best I've ever read. Amazon Unlimited. I would look into getting that because a lot of these books, like the one I mentioned, Network Marketing for Facebook, you can pick it up for free if you are on Amazon Unlimited. Audible, Amazon and Audible sync up with each other. You can buy audiobooks and your phone. You can listen to audiobooks whenever you want. For me, I literally have something going almost all day. I don't enjoy watching TV. So while I'm folding laundry, my least favorite chore, I have an audiobook going. When I am in the shower, there is an audiobook going. When I'm doing dishes, I have an audiobook going. I'm constantly filling my mind with the leadership I admire. And I would encourage you to take a look at some of the others that are available. A lot of times it'll say, okay, if you like this, here are our suggestions. You want to find a leadership that speaks to your style. Everybody's a little bit different. Some people are crass, some people are quiet. And you want to find the one that speaks most to your soul, and you're like, yeah, that's what I aspire to be like. Audible is actually, I want to say it's like only $14.99 a month, and you can plug right in and you get some really expensive audios that you pay a lot of money for at Barnes & Noble for very little money. And keep in mind, you want to save all those receipts because those are all tax write-offs. So I'm going to go ahead and segue a bit into Pinterest and using Pinterest for personal development and time management. This is the number one objection I get from teammates. I do not have time. And it's usually for moms with little kids. So who has younger kids in the room? Okay, awesome. Won't be talking to myself here. I'm going to kind of share a bit about what I did, and hopefully you guys can glean something from this on your own and apply this to your style of life. For me, one day I just told my husband, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm trying to do kindergarten homeschool with my son. I've got a daughter I cannot take an eye off of for a second. This morning, within 45 minutes, she dumped an entire thing of bubbles on her head. She got sand in her hair. She went streaking outside naked. I found out because she was screaming because she was trying to go down a very hot slide. It was like downhill, and I'm like trying to get her out the door. I'm still waiting for the babysitter to show up. I'm like, but that is my lifestyle, and it is busy, and there isn't much we can do about it. So I had to stop, and after talking with my husband, I'm like, okay, what are some things we can do right now to free up some time so I can build my business? And I didn't want to make my kids my excuse for why I didn't have time to build when they were my why on why I wanted to build. So one of the things I noticed was with my kids, I had this knack for demolishing a room in half a second. You know what I'm talking about. And so I finally sat down, I'm like, you guys don't need that many toys, you really don't. And I went on a toy purge. But first I hopped on Pinterest and I got some ideas. I'm like, okay, what are toys my kids this age should be playing with? Whatever didn't fit their age bracket, gone. I've got plenty of friends with little kids. They went in a bucket. They're out of here. I also looked up some great ways of organizing and using these like 2x4 shelves that my husband's now building for me to store the extra toys because they're not all going to be out at once. One of the things I was doing all the time was just cleaning laundry and toys. I'm like, this is where most of my day is: laundry, toys, dishes. I'm like, and my day is done. And I did not get to spend the time with my kids that I wanted to, and that is the whole reason I am building my business, and that's not happening now. So toys went an absolute toy purge. Salvation Army, garage sale. I sent my kids to my mom's one day, and I'm just like, we're going at it. I opened up the closet. I left my son's favorite toys in his closet, but I actually had a lock on the closet now. He cannot get in there without mommy. So now it's limited. Okay, you want 2 toys? Pick out your 2 toys, take them out. Other stuff needs to go in. So I had control, and they weren't just tearing the place apart if mommy had to take a phone call. Laundry. This was probably the worst one for me. Okay, I'm sitting there, I'm like, my children, 7 days in a week. How many pairs of clothes do my children really need? My son alone had 6 coats at 5 years old, not even. And I get this big bucket from this mother. She has 4 older boys, and I get a massive ton of hand-me-downs from her. And even after I go through them, I still had too much stuff. And I'm like, you know what, it's time to give it away. My son does not need 6 coats. So 1, let's go bless somebody else who could use these coats. And 2, now we're not gonna be having a fight at the door because he can't decide which coat he wants to wear walking out the door. How many know getting out the door, kids, is literally a task and a half? You're almost always late, and it's because of those little munchkins. So clothes went. Got rid of a ton of clothes. You do not need 7 pairs of khakis. Narrowed it down to 1 pair of khakis, a couple pairs of shorts, a couple pairs of pants, and you're gonna outgrow all these anyway. So now my laundry load isn't piling up. I'm spending less time on my laundry. But I got all of these tips by hopping on Pinterest, and I set a timer because I know I can get lost in Pinterest. And I said, all right, sweetheart, you got 20 minutes, go. And I went on there and I looked up all the best mommy bloggers for organization, and I found tips on how to build that shelf for the basement that I could put all the toys in, so we have a rotation of toys. They're not getting bored and into mischief. I found tips on doing laundry. One of the tips that helped us is you pick either one day per week to do laundry, Or each day is a different one. So Monday could be your husband's clothes, Tuesday's your clothes, Wednesday's your one child's clothes, and so on throughout the week. And maybe Saturday is, okay, wash all those sheets, get them all done, wash the pillows on the couch, whatever it is. And that has helped me a ton because then I don't have that buildup, that amount of clothes. I can't let it build up because if I let it go too long, my kids are going to be out of clothes because I eliminated all those. So there is no more excuses of, oh, well, they've got plenty in their drawer to last them. No more mountain. Another thing that helped was getting a planner. I mean, I think there's actually a passion planner. Did you give that one away yet? No. Oh, ladies are gonna love that thing. Passion planner is absolutely amazing. So is Erin Condren. Get a planner, get a pen and pencil, and start plotting out your time. What is it that means the most to you? Backtrack a little bit. When you get out your planner, what I would love to see you do, and I know this is going to pay off, would be just to write down what are your 3 priorities in your home. And what's taking up your time. And when you're looking at those things that take up your time, if they're not lining up with priorities, it's time to fix it. My laundry was not my priority. My kids were my priority. Reading books to them is my priority, and so that's what I had to tackle. So find out at your core, what are my priorities? And this is the toughest part, is learning to say some things. Look at your calendar. If it's gonna cut into that time, you told your son, you know what, honey, we're gonna go get ice cream on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And if you say you're gonna go get ice cream with your kid at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, hold them to it. You're gonna go do it. Don't let anything get in the way of that. Because there's one thing I noticed with this business in the beginning that I was making a huge mistake on, is I didn't set boundaries on time. I was on all day long, and Facebook was my other time sucker. Aside from dishes and laundry, it was Facebook. And I was having fun, but it was also taking away from my husband, and I was stealing time from my kids. And I had to set my boundaries. And one of those was getting off of Facebook by 9 o'clock. That's my husband time. Except on Tuesdays, because that's team call night. He knows that. So, but when your kids know, okay, at this time, mommy gets off work, she's done for a little while, I've got 2 hours to myself, or I've got 30 minutes to be with my kids, and they know it's consistent. That keeps them from creating resentment, because I was starting to see that come up in my husband as he felt like I had replaced him with this business, and I'm like, it's not what I want. I'm building this for him. I'm building this for my children. I want a legacy, and if I'm going to tear down my family in the process, something's got to give. And so that's when I set time. I got my calendar, I started planning out my meals. I don't do 30 trips to the grocery store. I've got 7 meals for the week. I get it all done in about an hour. And I try and get all my prep work done. On Thursday is actually my grocery shopping day. Laundry day is Monday. And I try and get all those things done, and I set myself up for success for the rest of the week. When laundry's done, I don't have to think about it on Monday. The kids have underwear all week long. I don't have to think about meals. Everything is right there, ready and waiting. So get your planner and write out, okay, these are my priorities. This is what we're gonna eat this week. And have it set and stick to it and say, okay, on Wednesday between 4 and 5 o'clock, I've got 1 hour, we can take the kids to the park and set time with them. Awesome.
Sponsoring. So there's 2 ways to make money in this business, and that's sales and building your team. You can sell and sell and sell. You can sell $5,000 a month. In fact, I had a girl who sold $5,000 this past month on my team. And you're going to make a pretty good commission off of that, but you're going to hit a ceiling of what you can make. If you're building your team and you're sponsoring, we have people, we just had our first millionaire this year. We have people who are making more than $80,000 a month. That's more than most of the people in this country make in a year. And we have people in this company making that in a month. But your potential is just unlimited, and the way to get there is to grow your team. So, Bree Richardson, who's one of the top sellers and one of the top sponsors in this company, said the more people you add to your team, the more zeros you add to your paycheck. And that's so true. I can tell you, that's so true. So let's take a look at some examples of residual income. At yellow status, if you're selling $1,000, you're going to make $250 in commission, 25%. $2,500. $5,000, like I mentioned, you're going to make $1,250. When you get to green status, orange, purple, black, where you're really growing your team, where you're getting elite leaders underneath you, you're going to make at a minimum $500 just off of your team. And as I said, you can be making up to $80,000 or more in a month. So, why do you want to sponsor? Rule of thirds, really common here. At any given time, they say you're going to have a third coming, a third going, and a third working. What does that mean? That means a third of your team are those new people who haven't even joined you yet, who you're out there looking for, who are looking for you, who are looking for an opportunity. A third of your team is going. Those are people who may have started out strong and now you're seeing some attrition. May have been people who you signed up who never really did anything. That's, I can tell you, I don't care if you're yellow status or black status, that will happen in this company. That'll happen in every company. Think about your day job. There's going to be rollover and there's going to be people who decide that they want to pursue something else. It's normal. Third of your team is working. Those are going to be people on your downline who are really consistently at it all the time. So in order to keep growing, you want to be focusing on that third that's coming in. Why does it matter to be consistently sponsoring? Well, as you promote, your circle requirements are going to go up. So for me, for Katrina at black status, you have to have $10,000 a month in sales from your circle alone. So you can't sit back in this company and say, all right, I have 8 elites under me and they're just going to do all the work and I'm not going to do anything. Because as they grow, you've got to step up your game and grow too, and you have to have a team that can stand alone on its own. Otherwise, you're not going to get paid at the rank that you're at. Who do we sponsor? Everybody. You want to live Younique, you want to speak Younique, you want to be out there all the time talking to everyone. So, first places you're going are your customers and your former hostesses. These are the best people that you can reach out to because these are people you know already have an interest in the product. You already know they like the product. You already know if you have a hostess that has a successful party, you already know that they can do well. I had a girl who reached out to me, wanted to host a party, said, hey, I just want to tell you up front, I have no interest in selling, but I want to host a party, I want to do a fundraiser. Okay, great. Did a fundraiser. Still the most successful party I've ever had. And I went back to her afterward and I'm like, look, I know you said you didn't want to do this, but you were great. You had a great party. We made a lot of money for your cause. Think about it. No, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Fast forward 10 months. She's a presenter on my team. She's got a team of about 30 under her. So just because they're telling you no at the time, we'll talk about it in a minute, doesn't mean that that no is always a no. Friends and family, of course, those are going to be the first people that you reach out to. Those are going to be the easiest people to reach out to, hopefully. And strangers. I mean, Austin gave a really good talk tonight about reaching out, Instagram, YouTube, your business page. You know, we launched in Mexico this week. I promoted my business page to some targeted areas in Mexico. And I've had 2 women come to me this week saying, I want to sell in Spanish, and I'm using translation software and giving them my very poor Spanish back, trying to tell them about the company, but they're interested right away. So you can find people you never would have had otherwise through those venues. Okay, how to sponsor. I could sit here and talk to you all day about how you should sponsor, but how do we do it? Consistency. Consistency is the #1 thing in this business. I don't care if it's sales, I don't care if it's hosting, I don't care if it's sponsoring, booking parties. You need to be working your business every day. This is a business, treat it like a business. If you slack, if you say you'll get back to it when you have time, you're not going to see the results. Consistency is so important. Sherry Brown, who is our first millionaire for Younique, said she has people come up to her all the time saying, how do I get to where you are? And that's what she said. If you want to have what I have, you got to do what I do. Be consistent, work your business every day. The great thing about this business is you can work it from anywhere. So right now, I'm here for the weekend. I'm away from my home. And just because I'm on vacation doesn't mean that I can't be talking to people here. Last year when I came here on vacation was when I signed up Krista. And I ended up signing another person on that trip. And so not only did that vacation become a write-off, but I'm still working my business. I'm not saying, well, I'll get to it when I get back to my regular life. Work your business from everywhere. Time management, Nicole talked to us about. One of my favorite excuses, and probably the number one no I have that I hear when I talk to people is, I'm too busy. I'm too busy for this. And I love that excuse. Because let me tell you about too busy. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning. I drug a screaming 3-year-old with me on a cab, on a 5-hour flight. I put on my makeup in an airport bathroom while she ran back and forth, literally hitting the walls back and forth while I'm trying to wrangle her, putting on makeup. Krista picked me up from the airport. We were late, fighting through traffic to get here. It's a good thing that you all arrived when you did and not a little earlier, because I actually got changed right here in the middle of everything. While I was putting my makeup on, you know that really, like when you're in the bathroom and there's that tin where you put all the grossest stuff, that's like tampons and diapers and all that while I'm distracted putting my makeup on. My daughter's got both hands in there playing. My parents flew in. I'm literally pushing her out of the car to them. They don't live in the same state. I haven't seen them. Oh, hi, Mom and Dad, good to see you. Thanks, take the kid, bye. I work a full-time job. She's, as Nicole said about her child, my daughter is into everything. When my sponsor, Carrie, reached out to me about signing up, that's what I said. I'm too busy. No way, too busy. Brooklyn, who is a Black status presenter under me on my team, it took me 6 weeks. I sent the girl free mascara. She still didn't sign up. I'm like, you have to do this. She's like, I am way too busy. Black status presenter, she hit black in 8 months. If you're busy, you're gonna be good at this business. And if you're really busy, you're gonna be really good at this business because you already know how to juggle multiple things in your life, and you already know how to do it well. Kelly's sponsor, who's a blue status presenter, has 8 children. 8. And she's out working her business every month, promoting quickly, growing her team. I'm like, if you can do it with 8 kids, I don't want to hear anybody tell me they can't do it. Let's see, I'll give you a chance to stretch a little bit. Who, stand up if you have a child at home, or more than one child at home. And stay standing. Stand up if you have another job besides Younique. Stay standing if you're already standing. Stay standing. Stand up if you would call yourself a busy person. Look around. Look around. Just about everybody, right? You're here. You're making the commitment. It's late at night. You're taking the time. You're a busy person, you're good at this business. Go ahead, you can sit down. Another thing in how to sponsor. If you have another job, when people say, what do you do for a living? Don't say, I'm a lawyer, I'm a teacher, I'm whatever your profession is. You say, I sell 3D mascara. Have you ever heard of it? People need to know what your business is if you want them to join in that business with you. Attraction marketing, Austin talked about this a little bit earlier. This is so important. Go to your Facebook page, go to your Instagram page tonight when you get home, and scroll through and take a look at what you're posting. And ask yourself what somebody from an outside perspective would think if they're looking at your page. Does it look like you would be somebody that they want to spend time with? Someone that they want on their friends list, someone that inspires them to want to join your team. When you go to my Facebook page and you look, you're going to think that I have the greatest life in existence. There is never anything negative. I grew up in a mixed race, mixed religion, mixed political party family, and I could give you all sorts of polarizing opinions. I don't put any of that on my page. I could tell you about the days when my 3-year-old makes me actually sit down on the ground and cry because she's 3, and that's what happens when you're the parent of a 3-year-old. You know, I could talk about sob stories, I could talk about skeletons. I don't do that because I'm running a business. I'm running a social media business. So when people come to my page, I want them to think, hey, that girl's life is awesome. I want to be part of whatever she's doing. Think about that, everything that you post. We have grievances, we want to air our grievances, but when you're running a business, social media is not the place for that. Educate yourself. The step you're taking tonight is a great step. I was at a training in San Diego last month, and Amber Voigt, who's sponsored by Katrina here, said, get your butt in the seats, get to convention, get to trainings, do what you have to do. You can read everything you want on Facebook, on the website, but getting to a real training is going to help your business so much. Follow other leaders, follow people on YouTube. Go through, read files, watch the videos, know the product that you're selling. Get over your fear. That's a big thing. I find that most of the excuses that I get from my team about selling, about sponsoring, about hosting, all just come back to fear. Okay, how to sponsor. It's not about you. It's about the person that you're sponsoring. So don't just talk. Listen. Listen to what they're looking for, because it's going to be different for everybody. I talked about this in the beginning. Some people are looking for a way to make a lot of money. Some people just want a hobby. Some people just want to be connected. Some people want to be able to get out of the house. Ask them, what's your interest in this business? What is it that you want? And then listen and tell them about what you can provide. Engage with them. Make a list of your dream team and reach out to them. Ask for referrals. This is a great thing. The last 2 people that I've personally signed up, I got through referrals. And it's a great thing because it takes the pressure off you and it takes the pressure off the person that you're asking. You reach out and you say, hey, I'm really looking to grow my business. For me, I give away free mascara. And I say, I'm looking to grow my business. Is there anyone you know who you think would be really great at this? If you refer somebody to me that signs up, I'll send you free mascara. So, last 2 people I got were from referrals. And actually, the last person I signed, not only did she sign up, but the person who referred her watched her for a little bit, saw that she had some success, and then said, oh hey, that looks pretty fun. I think I'm going to come back and sign up too. So it takes that pressure off of you asking that person, will you sign up and be part of my team? And it gives them the opportunity to say, well, what about me? I don't need to give you a referral. I want to do it. Use the 3 C's. How many of you have heard about 3 C's? Okay, less than half. Good. So 3 C's, crazy, compliment, confidence. When you're reaching out to people, you say, hey Jen, this might sound crazy, but I've been looking at your photos on Facebook and you just have the greatest eyes already. Compliment. I really think you'd be great at selling for this business. Confidence. Have you ever thought about it? And if she says yes, then you give her information. If she says no, you know what? No one's ever going to be mad that you gave them a compliment. 3 C's. It's very effective. Talk to everyone we covered. You're going to hear no's. Statistically, you're going to hear 9 no's for every 1 yes that you get. So expect 1 out of 10. That's going to be your rate of return when you're asking about parties, when you're asking about selling, when you're asking for sponsoring. So the more people you get out there and talk to, the better your odds are going to be. Be the unique girl or guy. This is really important. You don't ever want somebody to come to you and say, hey, do you still sell that mascara? You want to make it really obvious when they're ready that you're the person they want to go to. I had a girl last night, a good friend of mine. I've been selling for a year. She has never liked a post. She's never commented on a post. She's never asked me about Younique. She's never said anything. When I've mentioned it, she's let it go. And guess who placed a $190 order last night? And it took a year. It was a good friend of mine. But that was timing for her. That was when she was ready. And when she was ready, she knew that she could come to me because in that year, I'm posting, I'm people about it, I'm being consistent. She didn't have to say, oh, I'm interested in that mascara. I wonder who I know that sells it. Make sure that that's your face. Shouting from the rooftops. This is really, especially if you have a team, this is really important. I post every little success and every big success that I can for the world to see. So when I earned a cruise, I'm posting about the cruise. When Austin promotes, I'm posting on my page and I'm tagging her so people see it on her page too. When I have a new presenter that hits 125 in sales and qualifies for the month, I'm posting about it because I want people to see that their success on my team, I want them to be part of that, and I want them to see that I'm excited about what I do, and they want to be part of something that's that exciting too. Attraction marketing, we talked about a little bit. Austin did a good job covering that. Lifestyle posts is one thing that I'll touch on. I'm at the point now where I don't share what I make a month anymore. I can tell you though that when you're at the point where you don't share what you make a month, that's a good thing. You don't want to come back and say, hey, look, I just got this huge paycheck. Because people will look at that and they find it unattainable. And especially as you grow, people are going to find that more and more unattainable. So you want those posts to be something that seems attainable to everyone. So what I'll post is, just went to dinner. Thanks, Younique. Just bought diapers. Thanks, Younique. And keep it as something small that people think, hey, I could use a nice dinner out. I could use a little extra help with diapers. I could use a little bit of extra money, and make them want to come to you from that. Feel the no's. We talked about too busy. The feel, felt, found technique is really good when you're saying that when people are telling you that you're too busy, you want to empathize, you want to hear them. And so you say, I understand how you feel. I felt the exact same way when I got started. But what I found is that this actually requires a lot less time than I thought because it involves posting on Facebook, which I'm already doing anyway. People saying they don't have the money, talk about, okay, well, let's talk about where that money might go in a month. How often are you going to Starbucks? How often, and maybe those are things, not Starbucks, I'm never gonna give up my Starbucks, but maybe there's something else that those people could put off for that time with the idea that, hey, with this $99 investment, you can make that back 10 times over, 100 times over, if we can figure out somewhere where we can budget that for you now. Timing, like I said, what's right for one person might not be right for the next person. I told you about Krista, we talked about it, she signed up that night, started selling the next day. I told you about Brooklyn, took her 6 weeks, and a free mascara. And the only reason she signed up, I know she's gonna watch this later, so I'm gonna tell a story. The only reason that Brooklyn signed up is because she had someone under her who was interested in signing up, and she asked if the woman could call me and talk. And so she called and we spoke, and she said, okay, I'm really interested. We spoke for about an hour. She said, oh, I think I'm gonna sign up, I'm interested. And Brooklyn said, oh no, I'm gonna go sign up and you can sign up after me. And that's what finally got her after 6 weeks. And that woman is actually now an elite leader on my team as well. I don't know anyone. This is a big one. I don't have a big enough network. I don't know enough people. It's oversaturated. Brooklyn came from a town called Cleveland, Tennessee, and if you don't live there or know somebody from there, you probably never heard of it. Cleveland has a population of 40,000, and there are now 54, I believe, presenters in Cleveland, Tennessee, and I think about 99% of them are mine. They're on my downline, and these girls sell like nobody's business. And they're all in this one small town, and that doesn't matter because we're a virtual business. We're a social media business. Kelly and Krista are a great example. They live a few miles from each other. They never knew each other before. They're on different legs in my team, and they're both top sellers every single month. I'm going to show you something. Oversaturation. I live in Los Angeles, as I said. I did a post last week for my website, and I pulled the analytics of the first 30 people that went and took a look at my website. And that's where they're from. It's not all Los Angeles. It's not all Michigan. It's everywhere. When you're posting, when it's social media, oversaturation is not a concern in this business. Okay, so what to say when you're sponsoring? Be confident. If you don't believe what you're saying, they're not going to believe what you're saying. So if you go in and you're like, oh yeah, well, it's this new company and I'm really happy with it and you should join. Tell them how much you love it. Show them how much you're excited about it. Be confident in what you do. Be proud of what you do. We work for the fastest growing direct sales company in the country right now, in the world right now. And we're mission based. And the foundation, by the way, you raised over $500 for the foundation. So. If you want to approach a stranger, hey, you know what? You have really great lashes. What do you use? Oh, have you ever heard of 3D mascara? Your lashes are already so great, I can only imagine how amazing this would look on you. Listen, we talked about earlier, find out what they're looking for. Be prepared. Have your business cards. Market your Facebook page. When you don't just hand out a business card and walk away. You hand out a business card and walk away, you're never going to hear from that person again. You say, oh, hey, I'm on Facebook. Are you on Facebook? I can add you right now. Here, let me see your phone. I'll go in and I'll add you. You hand out a business card? Bye, I just threw that in the trash. You get on there and you add them as a friend on Facebook. Now they're there, they're seeing that update. You can keep reaching out back to them. Facebook friends. Do your research before you reach out to people. You see somebody that you went to high school with that you've lost touch with? Go on their page, take a look at what they're doing before you reach out. Don't just say, oh hey, I have a new business, you want to join? Reach out to them and say, hey, I saw you had a baby 6 months ago. How is it? How are you adjusting being a new mom? Hey, I saw you got a promotion. How's it going? Hey, it's nice to talk to you. Don't just jump in with Younique. Don't be pushy. Okay, as I said, what not to say. Don't ever push. Strike up a conversation. And if you have to push people in the beginning to sign up, you're always going to have to push them. So you go out, you make that initial connection, you follow up, and you let them come to you with questions. You let them work it in on their timing. If you're always hunting, if you're always on the hunt, people are going to feel hunted. Nobody wants to feel hunted. Don't say join me. Don't ever, 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 ever say join me. You're sharing an opportunity. You're not recruiting. You're sharing an opportunity. You think about what this business has done for you. Go back and think about why you signed up. What was it that got you to sign up in the first place? And try to relate that to them. You want everyone to have the kind of success you're having and feel the kind of excitement that you're having, so you want to share that with them. And it's in a year. That's what you can do in a year. Think about what you can do in 5 years. Think about what you can do in 10 years. There is no way at my 9 to 5 that I could have that kind of income jump in a year, that I could have that kind of success in a year. So while day to day you might get frustrated, or it might seem like it's taking longer for you than what you'd set out, when you look at where you can go in such a short time with this business, with something that you probably all thought would just be a little extra money in the first place anyway, it really is impressive the difference that it can make.